Good evening and welcome in, folks, to the KMAX stream. I'm Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini as we are here in Oakland getting set for a girl-boy doubleheader in the non-conference variety between the East Mills Wolverines and the Riverside Bulldogs. Brian, it should be a fun night of ball. Of course, the girls will start us off at 6 o'clock. The boys will come later this evening. And coming into the girls' game, I think East Mills is the biggest topic of conversation, at least, around our area. They've won 3 games in a row. They finished third in the Corner Conference Tournament. Not what they wanted to do, but then they went and beat the Corner Conference Tournament champion Stanton just 4 days later. And then they went and beat Class 2A Clarinda on the road. Both of those wins on the road. They've won 3 of their last 4. They're on fire right now, Brian, and this is a team that we saw kind of stumble out of the gate, but it really feels like they're starting to hit their stride.
Yeah, and you and I did that game at the Corner Conference. They had trouble scoring points.
Yeah,
it was just a low-scoring, grinded out. Didn't get a lot of points in offense. And lately they kind of flipped the switch. Natalie Goodman back in the lineup probably has something to do with that. But that win last night, kind of a nice marquee win for them on the road at Clarinda. And of course, it's always nice to beat the team that's kind of been holding court in the Corner Conference, the Stanton Vi Queens, but they step out of conference tonight. This is one of those trap games occasionally, Nick, where you kind of look past because, they've got some big games coming up. They've got games next Monday and Tuesday, the Wolverines against West Harrison Monday and Griswold Tuesday. Is this that forgotten game that you kind of overlook? Coach Mitch Rice and his Bulldogs are kind of hoping so. So we'll see if Coach Lexa Marino can get her team fired up and go for win number 4.
Yeah, it would be win number 4 in a row, and it would be 4 quality wins in a row. For Riverside, Brian, here at home, you talk about, seasons that don't necessarily go as you want them to go. They're 6-11 right now. They haven't had a winning season in almost a decade, but this is a program that, it feels like everything at Riverside lately has kind of been lifted and is starting to get back to what they want to be.
Yeah, it is.
Apologies, folks. It is Coaches versus Cancer night tonight, and they had a moment of silence for all those honored. So we had to step aside there for a second. But talking about Riverside, Brian, you're talking about a team that, like I said, doesn't necessarily have the record, but it's a team that's always going to give you trouble if you let them.
Yeah, sure. And they played at home. This is a big night, and they get a chance, to kind of put a kink in the rolling, the movement of right now the Wolverines, and they want to kind of get some momentum going as the season winds out. It's hard to believe, Nick. We're at the end of January. It's January 27th tonight, and, we're talking about a week and a half to 2 weeks away, Nick, and tournament season rolls around. So everybody wants to be playing their best basketball this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. We will step aside while they do the starting lineups and the national anthem. We will be back in about 2 minutes with the opening tip-off here on the KMAX stream. Welcome back into the KMAX Stream. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini here in Oakland as we are getting set for a non-conference girl-boy basketball doubleheader between East Mills and Riverside. We are just about set to go here in this girls contest. The starting lineup first for the visiting East Mills Wolverines. The normal starting five: Natalie Goodman, Mia Goodman, Emily Williams, Aspen Krause, and Maya Urban. And for the Riverside Bulldogs, Madison Kelly, Elissa Amdor, Ayla Richardson, Adeline Martins, and Sophia Taylor. The Wolverines are coached by Lexi Moreno. The Riverside Bulldogs are coached by Mitch Rice. It looks like it is going to be Amdor and Williams to jump this, and as we said, East Mills comes into this game one of the hottest teams in all of KMA land, and they are going to control the opening tip-off here with Natalie Goodman on the near side. Underneath to Emily Williams, kick back out, Goodman for three in the corner. That's way off the mark, but the rebound to Maya Urban underneath, and she brings it back out on the far side, and then we have a whistle. No, we don't. That is not a whistle. That is over on the other side. It is the JV game that is going on the other side of this gym. That is a whistle as Aspen Krause draws the foul, and that is going to throw me off all night, Brian.
Yeah, especially when there's a quiet moment going on and you hear that whistle from the court. Now, one thing that might pose a little problem for the Wolverines is this kind of open-end basketball gym here.
Yep.
Nick, you have a little bit of empty space. It's kind of a little different environment to shoot in, but after you take a few shots and kind of get back into it, you realize it's just basketball. You just got to focus on the rim.
Aspen Krause knocks down the first free throw, breaks the ice here in this opening quarter. Second free throw on the way. It's off the back iron, no good. Rebound tracked down by Madison Kelly and then stolen away by Emily Williams. Now fed off to Goodman, who could not get that floater to go, and the rebound to Ayla Richardson.
Now, I think East Mills, as much as they can, a little bit more depth. I think they're going to try to press the Bulldogs as much as they possibly can.
That was Sophia Taylor, who went up with the shot, could not hit it, and then caught the ball out of bounds. So that is a turnover on Riverside. And, Brian, this is a team that turns it over almost 25 times per game, and that's not really going to bode well against a team like East Mills, who steals so many.
You look at this team, Elissa Amdor, the lone veteran. She's a junior, so a little thin on some of the experience.
Yeah. Yeah, not a single senior on the roster for Riverside, so definitely a young team as Aspen Krause missed that shot, got the board, and got
Is that her second foul already, Nick?
I believe it is, yes.
So that's something that Coach Moreno is probably going to have to make a change here quick, and 1 minute into the game, she's got 2 fouls.
Out here is Ayla Richardson with the ball. The far side wing brings it back to the top of the key, looking to set up the offense. Tried to get it over to Adeline Martins. It was stolen away in the backcourt by Maya Urban. And now here comes Urban driving baseline. Puts it up. Off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. And it is off of Riverside, so the ball will stay with the Wolverines. 1-0 still the score here, the early going. The inbound to Emily Williams. Kick out Aspen Krause for 3. That's off the mark. The rebound, though, to Maya Urban. Now Urban working her way inside. She carried.
Well, shooting a little bit off. Wolverines started hot the last night against Clarinda. Had a good first quarter up down there. And tonight, a little different. Maybe, potential of playing a back-to-back game, Nick. Sometimes you come out just a tad sluggish. It's like man-to-man defense by the Wolverines.
This is Madison Kelly with it out top. Freshman in the starting lineup. One of 2 freshmen in the starting lineup for Riverside, as the 3 is off the mark from Sophia Taylor. Then we have a travel underneath the basket committed by Ayla Richardson.
Yeah, and
just that is turnover number 2.
So kind of a rough start for both squads here early going.
Emily Williams with it on the far side wing, looking to get her going. She drives the lane, puts up a floater. Can't get that one off the back iron, and the rebound goes to Riverside. Elissa Amdor pulls that one down, gets it up ahead to Sophia Taylor, who walks it up the floor.
So far, pretty decent job, Nick, of the Bulldogs, kind of limiting the number of times the Wolverines are crashing the offensive glass. That one-and-done possession on a miss, got to take advantage of it.
On the far side corner, that's Madison Kelly. Feeds it underneath to Adeline Martins, who scores on the turnaround. And it's the lead now for the home team.
Nice job of the freshman right there. Good footwork, and good glass. Bulldogs get the first official basket of the night, Nick.
On the near side, here's Emily Williams. She feeds underneath to Aspen Krause, who scores.
Krause on a good away from the ball cut right there. The defender a little bit late coming over. A nice find by Williams.
5:12 to go here in this first quarter. 3-2 the score. East Mills with the lead. Out top is Sophia Taylor. Gets it on the near side to Ayla Richardson. Richardson over to Adeline Martins. Now far side Taylor for three in the corner. That's no good. A rebound to Maya Urban. Urban will bring it up the floor. Throws it up ahead to Mia Goodman. Fires one down low to Emily Williams. Nice bounce pass to Kraus. Good ball movement for Natalie Goodman, who just can't quite hit the baseline jumper. But the rebound to Emily Williams, and she scores on the putback.
Williams just a little quicker off the floor on that. 4 girls from the Wolverines touched that ball in that possession, Nick, on that basket.
So it's Sophia Taylor here with the ball. Kicks out on the near side corner to Martins. Excuse me, that is Madison Kelly. Now Taylor gets it back from Kelly. She tries to drive baseline on Emily Williams. She has some success. Reverse layup's no good, though, and now here comes Aspen Kraus with it. Kraus to Urban. Urban, free shot at the lane. Can't get the finish, though, and the rebound tipped around. Scramble for it on the ball. Urban comes up with it, throws it away to Martins, and now here comes Ayla Richardson in transition. She does not have numbers, though, but a nice Euro step, can't finish. The rebound to Emily Williams.
Yeah, I think Emily Williams kind of surprised she went to the rim, but she didn't get the
Williams
basket.
with it. Now she tries her own Euro step, draws the foul, can't get the bucket to go, but she'll go to the line for 2. So a slow start offensively for both teams. A lot of action up and down the floor, but not a lot of buckets here. 3:53 to go in this first quarter. Emily Williams at the line for 2. She drills the first one. Williams, we talk about her a lot, averaging 16 points per game, just under 10 rebounds per game, so almost a double-double.
Now, they did take the foul off of Aspen Kraus. I wondered why Coach Marino wasn't pulling her out.
Yeah.
Showed 2 fouls, and she's only got 1.
Well,
so.
Kraus just picked up her Emily Williams miss, and now the feed back down to Williams. The kick out to Jenna Thornburg, who just checked into the game. Williams gets it back, and she scores in the lane, and that is a 3-point possession, just like you draw it up, and it's 8-2.
Thornburg filled in nicely when Natalie Goodman was out for a few games, so Jenna's got a lot of experience.
Out top, Sophia Taylor with it. Taylor drives, sidesteps, puts one up off the glass, doesn't get it to go, and the rebound tipped out of bounds by Adeline Martins, and it will go to the Wolverines. Yeah, Brian, it's kind of funny because both East Mills teams kind of do the same thing with their point guards, where the Thornburg comes off the bench, but they kind of just split time because obviously here you have Natalie Goodman who starts, but then Thornburg plays the same amount of minutes, and then you also have on the boys' side, Davis McGrew, who starts, but Zach Thornburg, Jenna Thornburg's brother, plays the same amount of minutes. So that it's just a whole kind of double point guard thing from both East Mills teams, as Maya Urban can't hit that three-pointer, and now it's going the other way.
And it gives you some flexibility and confidence as a coach to know that if somebody does go down, you've got a nice replacement to fill in without missing a beat, Nick.
That one was tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Riverside here. 8-2 still the score, 2:56 to go in this first quarter.
You alluded to East Mills comes in 12-4. Like I said, they won 4 in a row. Big wins last night on the road at Clarinda. They scored 58 points. So this team can put up some numbers when they get rolling.
Jumper on the baseline, bounces in. Nice shooter's roll there for Madison Kelly. The freshman scores and gets it to a 4-point lead now for East Mills. Here's Emily Williams with it. Tried to feed it underneath to Aspen Kraus. Could not thread the needle, and it goes out of bounds.
I think Coach Mitch Rice's goal at the end of the first quarter is be within striking distance. Nick, stay close. Don't let this get too far out of hand where we have to change too much. And I think right now, after 6 minutes, it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. 8-4 still the score here as ball is walked up the floor by number 32, which I do not have, Brian. Hopefully you do. Feed underneath to Adeline Martins, who can't get the bucket to go. The rebound tipped around, controlled by Ayla Richardson, and she's fouled on the floor. Who's number 32, Brian?
I will check. It's not on the...
Yeah, it's not on mine either. Interesting.
32.
This happens to us a lot. Inbound here from Ayla Richardson. Almost had a 5-second violation. Her inbound was stolen away by Maya Urban. Now Urban in transition has Thornburg streaking down the side. Thornburg catches it. Decides not to shoot. Kick out. Now up top. Natalie Goodman for 3. That's good. Natalie Goodman hits the tray, and it's a 7-point lead. So Becca Cody is number 32. They're wearing special uniforms. It's the Coaches versus Cancer uniforms. They have a pink outline, so my guess is some of the jersey numbers might have gotten a little jumbled. Becca Cody is number 22. She's typically number 10, and That was Ayla Richardson who just turned it over. Maya Urban came away with the steal. Now the kick back out to Urban for three in transition. That's good. 2 trays in a row. And it's a 10-point lead for the Wolverines and a timeout, Mitch Rice. Impressive start here for East Mills, who hits 2 3-pointers in a row. It's 14-4 is the score here in the first quarter with 1:38 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the KMAX Stream.
AgriVision Equipment know 2 things about the future of ag. 1, technology will continue to evolve, and 2, it's still all about the people that make it happen. AgriVision Equipment is looking for those people to share in the excitement of driverless vehicles, artificial intelligence, drones, and even more John Deere innovation. If you're excited about what this will offer the ag industry, you might be a fit for service technician positions receiving a competitive wage, benefits package, job growth, and stability. Apply at agrivisionequipment.com/tech.
2 big 3-pointers there, Brian, right before the timeout. Natalie Goodman hit one. They missed that last week when she was out. And then, of course, Maya Urban comes down and hits one, and just like that, East Mills has a 10-point lead.
Yeah, and especially when you get transition, you get that ball kick out, and the girl trailing up on the fast break hits the 3. Coach Mitch Rice needed the timeout, just kind of regroup, slow a little bit of momentum, as you mentioned.
Here on the near side, it's Becca Cody underneath to Alyssa Amdor, who drew the foul. She'll head to the line for 2.
Nice entry pass by Cody right there. Amdor, nice spin move, didn't get the basket. Foul, and that is the second foul on Aspen Krause now, officially.
Aspen Krause, the second leading scorer for East Mills, averages 10 points per game, so that is going to be something to watch as Amdor cannot hit on the first free throw. As Mia Goodman checks back in, Krause will have a seat for the time being. Meanwhile, Bailey Richardson just checked in the game for Riverside, as well as Lydia Erickson. So both teams making some substitutions here. Second free throw on the way is good. Gets the shooter's roll, does Amdor, so she goes 1 for 2 at the line. It's a 9-point lead for East Mills with just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Wide open 3 for Natalie Goodman. She can't hit that one, but she gets her own board on the long rebound, and now a scramble forward on the ground. Riverside comes away with it. Now here's Becca Cody in transition. They got a 2-on-2, and Cody will slow things up. Probably a good decision there, Brian.
Yeah, numbers, the East Mills girls did a good job of getting back defensively. Didn't try to force a shot.
Feet underneath, that's Erickson, and she gets fouled.
A lot of good movement right now by the Bulldogs offensively, Nick. They're really cutting without the ball, and East Mills a little bit late kind of getting to some of the spots. And 4th team foul on the Wolverines. First on, looks like Natalie Goodman.
So Goodman picks up the foul there as Erickson to the line, hits the first free throw.
And here's those hidden points, Nick. You get a chance to score at the free throw line. Nobody guarding you, clock not moving. You can make some games at the free throw line.
Under a minute to go here in this opening period. Second foul shot on the way for Erickson is too long, and the rebound goes to Maya Urban. Now here comes Urban up the floor with some speed. Gets it up ahead to Jenna Thornburg. Thornburg drives, kicks out. Far side, Natalie Goodman. Feedback underneath to Emily Williams. Splits the defenders. Can't get the shot to go, though. The rebound tipped out of bounds off of Williams, and it will go to Riverside.
Overall, I think the Riverside Bulldogs have done a decent job defensively. They really challenged a lot of shots, other than a few threes. You take away the threes, Nick, it's be a 2-point game.
30 seconds to go here in this first quarter. 14-6 the score. The far side, that's Richardson with it. Richardson kicks it on the near side to Sophia Taylor. Taylor working on Williams. Pivots, steps around, can't get the shot to go, but then the rebound to Erickson, and she's fouled.
Good job of the lefty Taylor right there trying to navigate through the lane. Found her teammate. Another shooting foul. 15th foul already for the Wolverines, so that's something to bear watching. The second foul as well on Natalie Goodman, so Coach Marino's going to have to go to the bench maybe a little earlier than she anticipated, Nick.
14 seconds left in this first quarter.
It's like Lacey Palmer coming in as well. Number 23 for the Wolverines.
So second free throw is good.
Bulldogs just kind of hanging around here in this first quarter.
Brought to you by the KMA Sportscasters Club.
And a good evening to everyone listening on the radio here on KMA AM 960. We are here in Oakland, and that is the buzzer for the end of the first quarter, as you just heard. 14-7 the score. East Mills with the lead after one quarter. We're going to take a quick break here on KMA AM 960. Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Is believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
Welcome back in here in Oakland. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini with you. We just concluded the first quarter, and Brian, a 14-7 lead for East Mills. Nicely, this kind of sets us up for a primer to get our radio listeners caught up here. What did we see in that first quarter?
Well, we saw East Mills be pretty aggressive. They hit a couple threes in transition in a 10-point lead, but some foul trouble. Two girls now on the Wolverines with two fouls, Natalie Goodman and Aspen Krause, and the game kind of slowed down as it was favoring coming with up-tempo. That's probably what the Wolverines would like, and a few free throws, and Coach Mitch's Rice Bulldogs still within striking distance, Nick, and that foul trouble, neither team blessed with a tremendous amount of depth, so something to bear watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the foul trouble will be something to keep an eye on. 5-2 was the foul count there. East Mills had 5 fouls committed in that first quarter. We will start us off here in the second quarter. East Mills defending here as Riverside has the ball. It's Bailey Richardson with it out top. Gets it over to Lydia Erickson on the top of the key. Now the far side to Madison Kelly. Kelly in the corner, drives baseline, kicks back out. Top of the key to Sophia Taylor. Taylor working on Emily Williams, looking to set up the offense. Gets a screen from Cody, now kicks it to Alyssa Amdor, who had it pickpocketed there by Emily Williams in transition. Now Williams goes up off the glass and in. Nicely done there by Emily Williams, turning defense into offense, Brian.
Yeah, she just took the steal and just waited a little contact at the other end, but she went right through it and gets her name on the board. She's the leading scorer right now with 7 points.
7:21 to go here in the first half. 16-7 the score. East Mills with the lead here in Riverside. Non-conference battle. And the feed underneath now to Sophia Taylor in the low block. Gets it out to a wide-open Lydia Erickson, who hits a 2-point jumper. Nicely done there by Erickson to knock in the 2.
Back up a foot and a half, you get an extra point, Nick. That 18-foot shot. But, hey, Bulldogs will take any points they can get right now.
Feed underneath to Maya Urban could not hit on the lay-in, and now going the other way is Riverside. And on the near side, here's Alyssa Amdor, feed underneath to Taylor, and she had that one blocked away. It goes out of bounds, and it will stay. That was Madison Kelly. It will stay with Riverside. If you hear whistles, it's because they're playing a JV game on the other side of the gym, which is throwing me off. I don't know if it's throwing you off, Brian.
It's that tweet. I wait for the whistle, everybody to stop, but it isn't. So.
Well, Sophia Taylor just missed a three-pointer. Now Emily Williams has it coming the other way. Nice feed underneath to Loisy Palmer. Can't finish, though. And then Mia Goodman gets the rebound. She gets her putback swatted away. Mad scramble for the ball. All kinds of bodies everywhere. No one can get a handle on the ball. It just keeps bouncing around, and finally it's gone out of bounds.
They
called a foul on Emily Williams trying to get the rebound. That was a
kind of an odd
disaster from the get-go.
Yeah, both teams, nobody seemed to want to grab the ball, Nick. And
that was something.
And then all it worked out is 2 positives. Bulldogs get the ball, the 16 foul, so the next free throws here on out, Nick, will put the Riverside at the free throw line.
Outside with it is Bailey Richardson. Gets it over to Lydia Erickson on the far side for Adeline Martins.
That's going to prompt Coach Marino to put their team in the zone right now to kind of protect some of her players.
Here's Richardson with it. Wild floater in the lane. Drew a foul. No, she did not draw a foul. That was a travel. She gets called for a travel before the shot counts. So
probably not the shot that you're kind of looking for right there.
So Jenna Thornburg will walk it up the floor for East Mills. Gets it over to Loisy Palmer in the far side corner. Now to Maya Urban. Far side, Thornburg thought about the 3. East Mills wearing their black road uniforms with green trim, working from right to left on your radio dial. Here's Thornburg with it. Gets it to Goodman, a baseline jumper, and she hits that. And, Brian, all the East Mills games you and I have done together, we've seen Mia Goodman hit from that spot more than any other spot on the floor.
Yeah, she loves that mid-range shot, that 10, 12 foot. That's a good spot to shoot from. Comfortable. nice execution by the Wolverines on that offensive possession.
Far side, Bailey Richardson with the ball. Gets it to Alyssa Amdor, who drives. Can't get it to go. The rebound tipped around, and we got another situation. No one wants to grab the ball. Finally, Jenna Thornburg comes away with it for East Mills. Here's Thornburg with it outside. Far side corner, Emily Williams with it. Gets it underneath to Maya Urban, and she's fouled. And she will go to the line for 2. 18-9 the score here. East Mills with the lead. 5 minutes left in the first half.
Doesn't feel like there's quite a flow in the game.
No.
We've had some stops, and foul trouble had a little bit to do with that. And just like you said, a case maybe where one team, like I said, played several important games this week. They're kind of just emotionally spent just a little bit. But Coach Marino's got to know, look, girls, hey, you got to be ready to go because, Riverside's not going to take it easy on you. You're going to have to be at your best.
Maya Urban missed the first of 2 free throws. Second is on the way, and she missed that one too. And then that one's tipped out of bounds. The rebound, it will go to Riverside. A little indecisiveness there from the official underneath the basket.
I think he called the right color and pointed the wrong way. The thing of it is, too, here, it's only 9 points. If you're Riverside, you can chip away here. You can stay within 4 or 5 points going to halftime. You feel pretty good.
Feed underneath to Amdor. She got her shot blocked and then got blocked again. Lots of screaming and yelling. They want a foul. I would tend to agree with them, but no foul called. Emily Williams came away with the ball. Now East Mills has it on there, and nice feed underneath to Aspen Krause and a wide-open lay-in.
Well, and
it looked like Amdor got hacked there.
She hit on the head, but the ball's live, and you can't, penalize the team with the ball, so it would ended up being a 4-on-5 possession right there.
Out top, Bailey Richardson with it for the Bulldogs. Gets it over to Ayla Richardson. Now on the near side, Sophia Taylor with it. Tried to feed it underneath, and then we get a foul on the floor. Emily Williams and Alyssa Amdor have been going at it underneath the basket, and they got that one on Amdor.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a frustration foul, Nick, because she was like, I just got dinged in the head and got hit again going across the lane, and that was hockey. That would have been high sticking. 2-minute minor.
Midway through the second quarter, 11-point lead for East Mills, 20-9 the score. Here's Aspen Krause with it on the low block, kicks it out to Natalie Goodman. Now on the near side, Krause for 3. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Madison Kelly. Now here comes Riverside the other way. Sophia Taylor with it. Near side corner, Martins. Gets it on the top of the key to Bailey Richardson, and over to Ayla Richardson. Richardson hounded by Aspen Krause, lost the ball. Krause stole it away. Now she's on her knees, and we got a mad scramble for the ball, and then we're going to get a tie-up call. The jump ball possession will go to East Mills.
Good job by Krause right there. The 2 fouls, still being aggressive. Stayed in bounds. I thought she was going to slide out of bounds and, was going to stay with the Bulldogs, but she didn't. Ended up getting the jump ball defensively, which ends up like a turnover. You get the ball.
Natalie Goodman with it out top for East Mills. Gets it on the near side to Mia Goodman. Then a feed underneath to Emily Williams. Nice pass to Mia Goodman, who was standing wide open on the baseline. Both defenders crash on Williams. She gets the assist.
Three white shirts that actually crash, and good recognition. That comes from playing a lot of basketball together.
On the near side, here's Adeline Martins with it. Gets it to the wing for Sophia Taylor. Now a feed in the block to Madison Kelly. Kelly almost had it ripped away, and then we get all kinds of whistles and another jump ball called. It feels like, Brian, something about this game, it just feels like no one can hold on to the basketball.
Well, again, the style of play right now, Wolverines more in a defense or a zone defense. And unless you get some good perimeter shooting, which the Bulldogs don't seem to be wanting to do, everything's packed in.
Inbound to Ayla Richardson. Gets in the near side corner. Right corner to Sophia Taylor. Now out top to Becca Cody. On the far side, Adeline Martins drives, kicks out. Near side 3 on the way, and it's good. Ayla Richardson knocks down the tray.
2.
It's actually a 2.
Yep, she was right on the line. That's a couple that they've been, within a foot or 2. But that's a big basket just to kind of stop a little bit of Wolverine momentum and keep them within striking distance.
Now feed underneath to Aspen Krause on the other side. Gets to Mia Goodman out top. Now right side corner, Emily Williams with it. Now 3 on the way for Maya Urban. That's no good. The rebound goes to Ayla Richardson. 2:16 to go in the second quarter. 11-point lead for East Mills. 3 on the way. Sophia Taylor wide open, and she drained it.
Nice
that
shot.
One's a 3, Brian.
Yes, it is. And she was well behind the line. That's a little 5-0 run here by the Bulldogs. Much needed 5-0 run.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Lexi Moreno, she wants to talk to her Wolverines. It's an 8-point game, 22-14 the score. East Mills with the lead. You're listening to non-conference basketball here on KMA AM 960 Shenandoah. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back in here on KMA 960 Shenandoah. 2 minutes on the dot to go here in the second quarter. East Mills with an 8-point lead in the ball coming out of the timeout from Lexi Moreno.
Kendra Lahman in the game for the number 15 for the Wolverines.
Wild shot there on the baseline by Emily Williams. Did not go. Riverside gets the rebound. Becca Cody up ahead on the outlet pass and threw it off of Maya Urban to keep it. That was actually a pretty savvy play there by Cody, the junior. She was going to lose the handle out of bounds, and she just threw it off of Maya Urban last second and went out of bounds, so they get to keep possession. Now they have an inbound underneath the basket. Now Ayla Richardson with a wide-open three on the way. It's good.
Maybe
Riverside has caught fire from three-point range, and this is a 5-point game.
Yeah, 7-0 or 8-0 run here, and that'll get you back in the game in a hurry.
Maya Urban with it. Kick out near side. Williams drives baseline, stops. Kicks back out. Three on the way for Maya Urban. That's no good. The rebound controlled by Aspen Kraus, though, and Kraus goes back up off the glass and in. Aspen Kraus ties Emily Williams for the game's leading scorer with 7 points.
5'5" senior right there, crashing the boards. A nice job.
Now underneath, Adeline Martins for Riverside was fouled on the floor by Urban.
Well, that little offensive spurt by the Bulldogs kind of seemed to energize them right here. And they weren't close on the line threes, Nick. They were deep threes, weren't they?
Those were deep threes, especially that last one from Ayla Richardson.
Yeah.
She was way downtown. 24-11 the score, 109 to go here. 24-17 the score, 109 to go here in the second quarter. First free throw on the way on the 1-and-1 for Adeline Martins misses, and then the rebound goes out of bounds off of Emily Williams, so possession stays with Riverside.
You're right, that's a third or fourth time at least this half that the ball just
falls out of bounds. Yeah, nobody wants to grab it.
The ball's brand new, a little
hot potato. I don't know. The inbound underneath the basket to Ayla Richardson, guarded tightly by Kendra Lahman this time, and then she stops and pops a 2-point jumper. That's off the back iron. The rebound to Emily Williams going the other way. Here's Williams, hounded all the way up the court by Sophia Taylor, and they get a foul on the floor on Taylor. They get her for a reach.
I used to call that sidecar defense. It's like the motorcycles. She just rode along right alongside her, and eventually the official says, I'll let you do it for about a half a second, but if you're going to just hang on, I got to call a foul.
Another substitution here for East Mills. So the 5 on the floor, Kraus, Williams, Mia Goodman, Kendra Lahman, and Loicy Palmer. The feed underneath to Emily Williams. She lost the handle on it. Now a fight for the ball again, and then we get a jump ball called. So possession stays with the Wolverines.
And even though the Bulldogs didn't get that, Coach Mitch Rice applauding his defense because that could have easily been a putback basket.
Now we get some conversation from the officials. 45 seconds left in the first half, and now
the
official's going to go to the scorer's table. They had to make sure the possession arrow switched there.
Shot clock doesn't reset. I think they were asking, does it reset? But it doesn't because the team still hold possession.
And then a missed inbound there. Miscommunication on the inbound as Mia Goodman was trying to get it to Emily Williams. Williams ducked out for the corner right when she threw it, and she threw it away. So now Riverside with the ball with 34 seconds left in the first half, down by 7. On the near side, here's Adeline Martins with the ball. Gets it top of the key. Becca Cody with it. Left side corner, now driving is Sophia Taylor. She puts it up, and she gets called for a charge as Emily Williams hit the deck.
Williams was doing okay until she extended that arm, Nick, and cleared some space. So that missed opportunity right there. They could have got within maybe 4 points, hit a 3. Now a chance for the Wolverines to kind of add to this 7-point lead.
A lead 24-17 with 20 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock is off. Wolverines can get last shot if they want it. Near side on the corner is Kendra Lahman. Gets it out top to Emily Williams in the elbow. Now Lawman with it again on the baseline. Feeds it out to Mia Goodman. Now the feed in the lane and then kick out to Aspen Krause. A 2-point jumper on the way. Rolls around, no good. And that will take us to the end of the first half. So not a lot of scoring, but some fun action here in Oakland. It's 24-17 the score. East Mills with the lead on the road at Riverside. We'll take a 10-minute break. We'll be back with the second half of this girls game here on the KMAX Stream.
Find your place at Northwest Missouri State University. From day one, experience a university like no other. In the classroom, you'll find career-ready academic programs and hands-on learning, not to mention championship sports teams and clubs. Find your passion and your people. Plus, textbooks and a fully loaded laptop are included in your tuition, with $19 million in scholarships and aid available. They also have a 97% placement rate. Visit nwmissouri.edu to apply today. Northwest Missouri State University, where Bearcats connect.
Talking with Amy McClintock, the longtime Sydney volleyball coach, and was at one time the girls basketball coach. Lots of success, a state championship winner, a state runner-up during the volleyball tenure, and multiple other trips to the state tournament, plus state basketball tournament as well. Now, basketball had not been coaching for a little bit, and now won't be coaching volleyball, as Coach McClintock has decided to step down from the volleyball position at Sydney, and thought we'd talk with her a little bit about that. First of all, I want to say hello to Coach McClintock. Coach, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for taking the time to chat. Obviously, I'm sure this was a decision that you had mulling around in your head a little bit. Tell me a little bit about it and kind of how you came to the decision, how it kind of all came about.
Well, after the state championship in 2019, I didn't want to finish just going out as a state champion, of course. So I decided to come back, and that was the year, of course, that COVID hit. So that was a little challenging. We didn't get much time in the summer, and, everything was shut down for a good portion of 6 months. So coaching the last couple years, I'd kind of toyed with the idea, and, I was fairly certain at the beginning of the season, and by the end of the season, getting the girls to the regional final was good for this group. I was kind of hoping to get them to the state tournament and get a play in the new arena, the change for state volleyball. But, I just decided it's time. I think it's time to let someone else come in. The program's still strong. We've got a great core group coming back. We've got a good freshman group coming in. The junior high I coached this year, they had a lot of success. So, I want to step away when the program's in good shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. I mean, that is definitely respectable, and not that you need that from me or anything like that, but definitely commendable. Tell me about the, obviously, the hours that you put in. I know you're doing, you have another job. You're not just a volleyball coach, and it's very difficult, I'm sure, to just kind of, keep that all straight and get your, I guess, amount of sleep that you need every single night during the volleyball season.
Yeah, I mean, being involved in sports, that it and as well as teaching, it takes a lot of hours. It's just not like a show up at 4:00 and leave at 6:00 type of job. So, if you want to have success, you got to build a program. So that's what we did here. We, when I first started, we were putting in 4 days a week in the summer. So just to get the girls where we thought they needed to be. So four mornings a week. I was also helping with basketball. So we would go 3 to 4 hours, 4 times a week, and that would include volleyball, basketball, and weights. And then, of course, fall hits, so you start practices. The girls, we'd practice till 6 or 6:30 at night, except on Wednesdays. And then you get into the winter, and, the season's over if you end up at the state tournament in November, and you're into basketball, and then you're starting AAU and clubs. So those first few groups, they played AAU, they played clubs. So I was running the AAU program. We were getting kids to club. Of course, my daughter was playing at the time. So club tournaments on Saturdays and Sundays, or vice versa with AAU. So some of those kids were playing Saturday, Sunday, practicing one night a week for club. And then we also had AAU practices, usually on Sunday evenings or whenever we could fit them in with gym time. So it takes a lot of hours, a lot of time in the fall. You're playing in tournaments, so you're talking 8 or 9 Saturdays in a row. And my theory has always been, if you have a good program, you play tougher teams. So, you challenge the girls, and put them in bigger tournaments against bigger class schools, and you see how they do. And I think that's part of the success that we've had here.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, Amy McClintock, our guest today, Sydney volleyball coach, has stepped down, will not continue to coach volleyball there at Sydney. When you look back at your time at Sydney, obviously the state championship, played for another state championship, other state tournament trips, conference titles. There's a lot of them, and I'm not sure. Maybe you will just point to that state title. But what are the lasting memories for you during your time as the Sydney volleyball coach?
Well, you get to know the kids, so they were all successful. So they all worked hard. They were competitive, and that's what you want them to be as people. So, I think there's a lot of memories. You get to know them as people. You understand what frustrates them. You understand their quirks. You laugh at them. You laugh with them. So just getting to know them, I think, as people is probably more important than the wins.
It's hard to guess how you will feel come, obviously summer is probably going to be one where you're like, oh, what's going on? I'm not doing summer workouts. But what about when the fall rolls around and you're not out there coaching every single day? You're not spending hours and hours at practice and taking your team to God knows where on weekends. But how do you think that will feel for you?
Well, that's a good question. I've coached since my kids were little, so I think Cameron was 3 when I started coaching. I started in Essex as an assistant and coached there, I believe, 8 or 9 years, and then came here, went right into basketball, and then a year later coached volleyball for the last 9 years. So that's a good question. I don't know. I'll probably drive everybody crazy. But, I just got my master's degree in December, so we'll kind of see how things shake out with that in the future. But I'm planning on officiating because I still want to be involved with the sport somehow. So I hope, just by continuing to be involved with the sport, I won't get completely bored, I guess. But also being a special education teacher, it takes a lot of hours to meet all the students' needs. So I don't really ever have downtime, I guess, so to speak. I think it'll just be maybe a little more time on the weekends.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. You're still giving back to the sport. I guess I'll ask you before you go. It's not like I'm talking to somebody who's coached for 60 years and you're 85 years old and this is it. So I mean, do you think you will have if there's an opportunity that presents itself? Would you ever consider coaching again?
Well, that's a good question. I think we'll see how this next year goes, and I'm not going to completely rule it out. But, it's a possibility down the road. I think just taking the next year off and officiating and just kind of seeing how do I enjoy my time? Do I feel like I need to coach? Do I miss it? So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things up in the air as far as I definitely think I'm going to miss the kids because
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Welcome back into Oakland here on KMA AM 960 Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme. Nick Stavas here with Brian Bertini as we are gearing up for the second half of the first of our 2 games tonight, the girls matchup between East Mills and Riverside. East Mills with a 24-17 lead on the road at the moment. Brian, reaction from that first half, go.
It's kind of a game of a couple runs. East Mills kind of started a little slow. They got some points. Riverside countered. Then East Mills got a 10-point lead. Had a chance to kind of expand. A little foul trouble kind of derailed that. A couple of threes. Actually a 7-0 run by the Bulldogs got them within 4. and then a closeout. Nice job by the Wolverines to kind of keep that up at 7. So, again, foul trouble, something to bear watching for the Wolverines. And let's see if they change defensively, because the Bulldogs started hitting from way downtown there late in the second quarter.
Aspen Krause and Emily Williams, the game's leading scorers with 7 apiece. And Brian, you know, as we've watched this East Mills team progress through the year, of course, they come into this game one of the hottest teams in all of KMA land. But, you know, those two players have really separated themselves as the go-to scorers for this team. And, of course, Williams, we know, is going to do that. But Aspen Krause, of course, has really come on, it feels like. It's really in the back half of the season since Christmas break.
Yeah, and the one thing I think Coach Lexi Marino and Matt Thornberg have available to them is they've got a lot of moving pieces. I mean, one night it might be Maya Urban who comes up and hits, 12, 14 points. And then you got Natalie Goodman, and you've got, Mia Goodman. And of course, throw in Jenna Thornburg, who can, get some points. So if you have that ability to kind of move the ball, share the wealth, Nick, it makes it tough to defend. If you just got one offensive player that everything goes through, if you're good defensively, you can kind of take that away. So that's why I think is the best thing that the Wolverines have for is the variety of scores today and different locations on the floor.
We are underway here in the second half. Riverside with the ball to start this half. It's Ayla Richardson with it out top. Gets it to Sophia Taylor in the far side corner. Adeline Martin's underneath. Knocks it in right off the bat, Brian.
Coach Mitch Rice said, let's draw this play up, and that worked to perfection, didn't it?
East Mills with the ball now, wearing their black uniforms with green trim. Riverside wearing their home whites with pink trim for Coaches versus Cancer Night. East Mills working from left to right on your radio dial. Here's Natalie Goodman with it outside. Goodman picks up her dribble, feeds it out to Maya Urban. Nice pass underneath to Emily Williams, who scores.
Well, that's a mismatch if Williams gets on the low block one-on-one. And she's done that several times over her career, Nick, finished by the basket.
Feed underneath now to Ayla Richardson. She's double-teamed, though. Gets it outside. Now top to Sophia Taylor. Taylor with the top of the key, setting up the offense. Gets it over to Alyssa Amdor, who comes out. Amdor working on Urban. Now far side Taylor with it. Feed underneath to Urban. Urban, a shot from the right block, and she got through the foul. Interesting there.
Amdor, you mean?
Amdor, excuse me, yes.
Foul was on, who's that one's on this time?
It looks like they called Maya Urban for that one, which is her third. So the foul trouble we mentioned in the first half, Brian, could be something interesting to watch. And right there, your point guard just picked up your third foul.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for the Bulldogs is to hit those free throws, taking advantage of that foul and the stop clock. And again, chance here to get within possibly 5 and just, like I said, stay within striking distance.
First free throw is good. Second free throw rims in and out. And Emily Williams pulls down the rebound. So still a 6-point lead for East Mills. Maya Urban still in the game with 3 fouls. Now on the far side, Natalie Goodman, a 3 from the corner. That's off the mark, an air ball, and it goes out of bounds. It will stay with East Mills, though, as Sophia Taylor got a piece of it as it was flying out.
Yeah, her and Amdor just kind of decided who's going to get it. Neither one got it, and break for the Wolverines. They'll hold possession.
Now Aspen Krause off the inbound. A 3 in the corner's good. Aspen Krause knocks down the tray, and she's the game's leading scorer with 10 points.
She must have heard you, Nick. She says, I need to get on the board here in the second half early, and she did.
29-20 the score now. East Mills with the lead. 6:15 to go in the third quarter. The near side, Amdor with it. Kicks it out top of the key for Madison Kelly. Feed down low to Ayla Richardson. She lost the handle, and then it goes out of bounds off of Riverside, so it will go over to the Wolverines.
I think she thought she might have got hit on the arm as she attacked the basket, but no whistle called. Now we're down to 1 whistle, so we should be able to hear.
Yeah, the JV game.
Turn the lights off on the other side of the gym.
Yeah, the JV game that was going on the other side of the gym. It's a really neat gym they have here in Riverside, but it is a little confusing sometimes. Meanwhile, Natalie Goodman just took a 3, could not hit, and rebound controlled by Ayla Richardson. Then she had it pickpocketed from behind by Maya Urban, and now East Mills comes back the other way. Here's Emily Williams with it. Drives, left hand, off the glass, no good. The rebound goes to Riverside as Sophia Taylor walks up the floor now. Now Taylor picks up some speed, puts it up off the glass, and she's fouled before the shot. So another foul called there on East Mills.
It might be. It's the
that
third
one
on
is the
Natalie
third
Goodman.
on Natalie Goodman. So now your 2 point guards, of course, they can bring Jenna Thornburg in off the bench, but Maya Urban and Natalie Goodman both have 3 fouls.
Well, yeah, in decision time, you're going to have to bring one in because you can't have. You'll want number 4 foul here early in the second half.
Then, of course, Aspen Krause has 2 as well, as the feed up off the glass is no good for Alyssa Amdor. Aspen Krause comes away with the ball. Now Krause driving, Leaves it off for Natalie Goodman, who gets fouled on the shot. Going to the basket, she'll go to the line for 2.
That's a tough break for the Bulldogs. They had a chance maybe at a putback point right there by Amdor. Get nothing out of it and come down. You get to draw the foul. Now free throws coming up for Goodman.
Nobody at the scorers table at the moment, so I don't see any urgency from Alexi Moreno to get those 3 foul players out of there, as Natalie Goodman is the one shooting, so she can't come out of the game. She made her first free throw.
The one thing might be you're asking Aspen Krause and Maya Urban, your seniors, girls, show the experience. Yeah. Don't pick up foul number 4, not right away. Trust in them, I guess.
The far side, driving is Adeline Martins, and once again, Adeline Martins blowing past the defense on the baseline and laying it in from the block.
That was a case where Aspen Krause was matched up. She had to let her go and not pick up the foul. That would have been number 4. So good recognition, as you mentioned. And again, Bulldogs staying within distance here, Nick.
30-22 the score, under 5 to go in the third quarter. Here's Emily Williams with it. Goes up left hand again. And how did she make that? Off the glass.
I think Sophia Taylor
it looked like it got tipped.
Yeah,
it looked like it got blocked, but it went in anyway, and Emily Williams now has 11. Outside, Taylor with it. Gets on the right side wing for Ayla Richardson. Richardson tried to feed it underneath to Martins, who was stolen away by Mia Goodman. Now here comes Aspen Krause up the far sideline. Krause bringing it up the floor, gets it off to Natalie Goodman, who picks up her dribble at the top of the key over to Krause on the left wing. Krause kicked to Goodman, right wing 3 on the way. That's good. Natalie Goodman knocks down the tray, and it's a 13-point lead now for East Mills. And Brian, every time we've seen East Mills take a sizable lead, it's been off the 3 ball.
Yeah, and it just, again, off the steal, turned it into points, Nick.
Now Emily Williams, speaking of steals, stolen it away from Sophia Taylor, and then Taylor blocked it from behind as she went in for the easy layup. So nice play there by Taylor. It went out of bounds off of her, so it'll stay with East Mills. But
usually that draws a foul, and she just got all clean ball. Even though it's out of bounds, but you can reset. Prevented Williams from an easy 2 points.
Inbound there to Emily Williams underneath the basket. Ball was tipped away, and it's picked up there by Maya Urban. Urban gets it to Williams and then tried to kick it back out, and it was thrown out of bounds. It was off of Riverside, off of about 20 different people, it looked like. I mean,
pinball.
I've never seen anything. I've never seen it happen so many times in one game. It feels like underneath the basket, the ball has just been a
pinball,
a hot potato. Yeah. Now wide open for 3 is Maya Urban on the near side wing, and she knocks it down. Maya Urban rattles home the 3. That is 3 straight deep balls from East Mills, and they've opened up a 16-point lead here in the third quarter.
Yeah, this game was kind of close, and then, like you mentioned, the hot shooting continues. Wolverines picking up a little bit here in the second half. They left off last night.
38-22 the score, as that one is thrown away on the entry pass to Sophia Taylor. It goes out of bounds. And East Mills will get possession.
Nick, it was the right pass, just not the right angle to get it to them.
Yeah, it was Madison Kelly who was actually on the low block. Could not handle the pass. Now here's Emily Williams with it out top for East Mills. 3 to go here in the third quarter. Feed underneath to Mia Goodman. Now on the left side, it's Aspen Krause. Kicks it over to the right side for Maya Urban. Now the feed in the low block to Emily Williams. Left hand is good, and she is so good with that left hand, Brian.
She does. She really started using it in volleyball, being able to hit with the right and left hand. And she's got good, strong hands. That pass a little off mark. Didn't matter. She gathered in and finished it off.
On top with it, Ayla Richardson. Gets it on the far side for Amdor. And then the feed on the baseline to Adeline Martins. And Martins lost the pass out of bounds and another turnover. And, Brian, like I said in the open, this is a team that averages 25 turnovers a game.
And they're racking them up here in the second half.
Yeah, we're kind of starting to see that happen now.
And part of it is the pressure defense and just the East Mills girls, Nick, getting the passing lanes, deflecting balls, making it tough, changing angles.
Out here's Emily Williams, gets it over to Maya Urban on the far side. Urban drives the lane, puts it up. Tough floater in the lane, no good. The rebound goes to Becca Cody.
Urban came close to picking up foul number 4.
Yeah, and Natalie Goodman just checked back into the game. She has 3 as well, so going to need to be careful, but they've definitely built a more comfortable lead than at the start of the second half.
But you're still thinking about, tournament time. You don't want girls to get in that mindset, I can play through that, but because on the bench, if you're a senior, that could be the end of your career.
Adeline Martins had it stolen away. Now Emily Williams on a breakaway. Can't get the easy bucket to go. You don't see her miss those very often. And the rebound goes to Ayla Richardson, and then we get a whistle and a timeout Mitch Rice. Timeout, Riverside. It is a 18-point lead for East Mills if they have caught fire from three-point land here in this third quarter. 1:54 to go in the third. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KMA AM 960 Shenandoah.
For the very, very best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. Be sure to try the Chicken Cruiser. This is Cubby's new slider sandwich that people are raving about. A hot and fresh chicken strip on a Sister Schubert dinner roll. It's amazing. Don't forget to use the Cubby's app to save on gas and more. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.com.
Nick Stavis, Brian Bertini here in Oakland on KMA 960 Shenandoah for a doubleheader of the non-conference variety. East Mills taking on Riverside, a little cross-conference action between the Corner Conference and the Western Iowa Conference. Of course, East Mills, as we said earlier, Brian, up 18 points in this game at the moment, but they are one of the hottest teams in the area right now. They knocked off top 10 Stanton. Was it Tuesday night?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. And then 2 days later, they go to Clarinda. On the road to a 2A school. They beat Clarinda, and now they're here tonight on the road in a non-conference game against Riverside, and they're up by 18 points. And this team just really feels like they're on fire right now.
Yeah, workmanlike effort tonight, getting production from a lot of girls doing a lot of different ways. That's a sign of a good veteran team, which there's a lot of senior leadership on the squad right now.
90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Riverside with the ball, trailing by 18. Far side, Adeline Martins with it. Kicks the top of the key. Three on the way. It's good. Lydia Erickson, the junior, knocks down the tray. And finally, Riverside ending the run.
They haven't shot a lot of them, but when they've shot them,
efficiently,
they've made them pretty.
They're definitely over 50% from three, for sure.
And they're staying in the game remotely here.
Here's Jenna Thornburg with it on the low block. She got fouled by Madison Kelly, so Thornburg will go to the line for two with 1:09 to go in the third and a 15-point lead for the Wolverines. We're going to get a mass sub here after this first free throw.
A hockey line change coming up, right?
Kendra Lawman, Aspen Kraus, and Mia Goodman are all going to check in as Jenna Thornburg hit her first free throw. So Emily Williams and Maya Urban and Natalie Goodman are going to get a break. So the only starter out on the floor right now, I guess there's two on the floor right now for East Mills. That would be Mia Goodman and Aspen Kraus. Thornburg, Loisy Palmer, and Lawman round out the five on the floor at the moment for East Mills as the second free throw is off the mark from Thornburg. So 41-25 to score now. East Mills with the lead. On the right side, driving baseline, tried to feed it underneath was Becca Cody, and then she turned it over, and now we get a whistle and a foul called on Cody and a reach from behind. That is actually on Lydia Erickson.
Yeah. And, East Mills now, like I said, coming up, we're getting that late January, early February tournaments will come out. 1A will start early. They got a game Monday with West Harrison at the Nishna Valley Gym, the old gym in Hastings, where that will be. Trevor and I will be there covering that. And then Tuesday they'll follow that up with a conference game against Griswold. But, Nick, you're getting down to the end of the season, and each of these wins now are feathers in your cap because the girls' union will seed teams based on that. You've got Stanton, you've got Fremont Mills, you've got East Mills, you've got Exira, you got all these 1A squads around, and you start showing you're making some moves, and the girls' union kind of gives you an opportunity to separate some distance. Maybe you get a couple home games, Nick.
Three on the way for Adeline Martins after an East Mills turnover, and she can't hit that. Mia Goodman got the board and then was fouled by Becca Cody. Yeah, that game, I mean, it's so cool that they're doing it at that old gym in Hastings. Brian, the atmosphere, it's no disrespect to West Harrison or East Mills girls, but East Mills, West Harrison boys, I mean, those are the two best 1A teams.
That's the marquee matchup Monday night.
Two of the best 1A teams on this side of the state. That is going to be an incredible game, and I am slightly jealous of you and Trevor getting to call that one as Jenna Thornburg lost it out of bounds off her foot. So it's another turnover for East Mills with 25 to go in the third.
Mason Krause, the all-time leading scorer for East Mills. You've got Colson Evans, I think the all-time leading scorer.
Sage Evans.
And they've got three guys, I think, that are going to potentially 1,000-point scorers for the West Harrison team.
That's incredible. And two for East Mills.
Yes, that's going to be a good game. And the girls' game
and possibly a preview of a sub-state final, if I had to guess.
Very well could be.
So on the near side, it is Lydia Erickson with the ball for Riverside. And we get a timeout. Mitch Rice with 9.5 seconds left to play in this third quarter. It's a 16-point lead for East Mills. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Back here on KMA AM 960 Shenandoah.
If If you're looking for unlimited super fast internet you can always rely on, look no further than FMTC's fiber internet. With so much relying on your internet these days, you need a connection you can trust. You can work from home, video chat, stream your favorite TV shows, and more without worrying about the stability of your internet. You could have what everyone else wishes they had.
Your connection to the world, FMTC.
41-25 the score. East Mills with the lead. Under 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mitch Rice took a timeout. What do you think of that, Brian? Right before the quarter, a timeout. I guess the last possession, want to draw something up maybe?
Yeah, I think he realizes that, if we can get a basket and make it 13, stranger things have happened. Go in the fourth quarter. East Mills does have some foul trouble, so if they pick up a couple fouls, the game slows down. That's where we saw the Bulldogs make their move in that second quarter, Nick, is when the game kind of slowed down and got a little bit more half-court oriented. They really kind of hit some threes in the perimeter. So I always like to see what coaches draw up out of a timeout like that.
Adeline Martins will inbound it from midcourt, gets it in to Becca Cody on the far side, and the near side to Adeline Martins. Nice feed on the block, can't get the shot to go though. Thornburg with the rebound, 1 second left, does not get a shot up, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. East Mills cruising right now, up 16, 41-25 the score here in this girls game. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Not sure what you want to do with your life? Feel like your job is at a standstill? Get your foot in the door with area manufacturing companies at Iowa Western Community College's SEAM program. Sign up now in the Center of Excellence for Advanced Manufacturing through IWCC. Classes are just 2 early evenings a week with holidays and summers off. Improve your current skills and learn new ones that will give you a new career or even enhance your current one. For more information on SEAM, contact IWCC's Clarinda Center at 712-542-5117.
Back here in Oakland, Nick Stavis alongside Brian Bertini, bringing you some non-conference basketball action here on KMA 960 Shenandoah. Brian, end of the third quarter, 41-25 the score, East Mills with the lead. And I have a question for you. We've seen East Mills a lot this year, and we've seen East Mills girls play poorly. We've seen them play well. What's the difference? What do you notice when this team is playing well like they are right now, like they have been for the past week? What do you see? What do you see in a difference as opposed to some of the stuff we saw early in the year?
I think better ball movement. They're moving the ball around and moving without the ball, and getting themselves in better shot locations, and then hitting some shots from the perimeter.
Yeah, hitting some shots from the perimeter has definitely been their go-to tonight. As a shot underneath the basket didn't go for East Mills coming out of the quarter, and then Riverside threw it away, but it was off of Maya Urban, so it will stay with Riverside. 7:43 to go here in the game, 41-25 the score. A reminder, after this one is over, about 20 minutes following the conclusion of this one, we will have the boys' version of this matchup, Riverside versus East Mills, here on KMA 960 and the KMA Extreme. And this is Bailey Richardson with it out top. Gets it to Lydia Erickson. A feed in the high post to Sophia Taylor, who missed a turnaround jumper, and the rebound goes to Maya Urban. Now an outlet pass to Mia Goodman. Nice pass and an even better finish. Nicely done there by Mia Goodman, and then the lights just went off. What happened, Brian?
Not sure.
Did you unplug the lights?
I not even near an outlet.
An entire right side of the gym. The lights just went out. They're still playing this game. 7:05. Oh, there they go. They're back on. Okay. Sophia Taylor with a three in the far side corner. No good. Emily Williams tracks down the rebound for East Mills, and then she's fouled in the midcourt by
I don't know if they were
Alyssa
trying
Amdor.
to distract the East Mills shooters, but didn't seem to phase them after the last basket, did it?
43-25 the score. 7 minutes to go in this one. East Mills looking like they will walk away from Oakland with a win, barring a miraculous comeback here by Riverside. Natalie Goodman with it outside for the Wolverines. Goodman, dribble handoff to Aspen Krause, who drives the lane, kicks out. Emily Williams, now some good ball movement, just like you talked about, Brian. Feed underneath to Aspen Krause. Nice pass and an easier finish for Aspen Krause, and it's a 20-point lead now for East Mills.
4 girls touched the ball in that possession, and when you do that crisply, you get the result by the basket. 2-foot shot.
Her feet underneath to Ayla Richardson. Couldn't handle the pass, but was able to save it and throw it off of an East Mills player out of bounds, so it will stay with Riverside with 6.5 to go in this game.
Nick, this game not too long ago was a fairly close game.
7 points at half.
Yeah, and even closer than that, it kept a little mini run, and then East Mills went into lockdown defense, finished score, and they moved the ball, and they've done a nice job of not picking up some of those fouls. Only 3 thus far in the second half.
Here's Sophia Taylor with it on the right block. Tried to feed it underneath to Alyssa Amdor. It was stolen away by Emily Williams, and then she got hounded, ended up coming away with the ball, gets it off to Maya Urban, who brings it up the floor for East Mills. Now on the left corner, it's Mia Goodman. Feed in the post to Emily Williams. Had it swatted away, but the ball was picked up by Mia Goodman. Now a 3 on the way for Natalie Goodman. It's good from the right wing. Natalie Goodman hits her 3rd triple of the night.
Yeah, it looked
and
like
it's a 23-point lead for East Mills. It looked like they all just gave up on the play because they thought it was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, and it didn't. Good job by them to keep going, and they hit the shooter, and she buried the 3 from the perimeter again.
Are the out-of-bounds slides hard to see for the player? Because does it not feel like that's happened many times tonight where they just kind of tried to let it roll out of bounds, but it won't?
I think you're also anticipating a whistle, like you're waiting for the whistle, and there's no whistle, so you have to keep playing. And the ball just kind of, it's that ball, Nick. It just kind of doesn't. It doesn't want to do normal things tonight, does it? Nobody can hang on to it, and it wants to stay in bounds when it's not. Maybe it's a little oval.
Emily Williams just drew a foul after a Riverside turnover. It was on the floor, so it'll be an inbound for Maya Urban underneath the basket. Gets it into Emily Williams. Williams, right-hand lay-in, no good. Not
a little too strong.
Uncharacteristic miss there from Williams.
She might have been anticipating some contact, didn't get it.
Now here's Ayla Richardson, a wide-open 3 in transition. Can't hit that one, and the rebound to Aspen Krause. Up ahead to Mia Goodman. All 5 starters out there at the moment for East Mills to try to close out this game, and they're doing so as Emily Williams just missed a short jumper there from the free throw line. The rebound goes to Riverside. 48-25 the score. It's a 23-point lead for East Mills. Riverside with the ball with 5 minutes to go. The far side, Becca Cody with it. Tried to feed it underneath to Ayla Richardson. It was knocked out of bounds by Maya Urban, so it will stay with Riverside. And now a substitution here as Adeline Martin checks back into the game for Riverside while Kendra Lawman and Jenna Thornburg. And right now East Mills has 6 players on the floor. Still 6 players on the floor. Now Emily Williams is coming off.
She says, I don't want to leave, Coach.
They were all standing out there in their spots ready to go, and the referee said, wait a second, you guys have 6 players.
This might be one where you don't risk an ankle or anything right now in one of these games.
Especially
this
for
season.
Yeah, Sophia Taylor with a 3 on the way. That's no good. Lawman with the rebound.
And it's a chance for your other girls to step up. And as a coach, Nick, how are you going to respond in a little adversity? If they put a little run together, and because you're going to need some of those girls to step up once you get tournament time.
4:47 to go in this one. It'll be a 1-and-1 on the way for Kendra Lawman, who was fouled in the midcourt. 23-point lead for East Mills.
And you mentioned 24-17.5, just a 7-point
impressive
lead.
Yeah, impressive second half here from the Wolverines.
And it got to 24-19, actually.
Yeah.
Out of the shoot.
Then it was 26-20.
Yeah, and then East Mills just kind of turned it up a notch, a little better defense. They were finishing off open live ball turnovers, run-out points.
Kendra Lawman goes 1 for 2 at the line. 24-point lead for East Mills. Taylor brings it up the floor. Feed underneath to Adeline Martins. Jump stop, no good. Second follow is good. Adeline Martins follows her own shot, gets the putback.
Nice pass by Taylor to kind of throw it right through the defense. A diagonal pass in good hands, as you mentioned. Nice basket by the Bulldogs.
On the near side, Jenna Thornburg with it on the right side wing. Gets it over to Natalie Goodman. Left side wing 3 on the way. That's short. And the rebound out of bounds. It'll stay with East Mills.
Madison Kelly maybe thought it was touched and tipped, and she went after it a little bit too late, but no avail. It's going to stay with the Wolverines.
Thornburg catches the inbound, gets it to Natalie Goodman. Goodman drives left hand, kicks it out. Aspen Krause for 3. That's no good. And the rebound to Madison Kelly underneath. Now here's Sophia Taylor driving. Taylor straight down the lane, can't get the finish. Madison Kelly lost the ball, and then the rebound kicked out to Ayla Richardson, who just buried a 2-point jumper.
And that prompts Coach Moreno to bring back in the 5. Doesn't want any traction.
I don't think so, Brian. Well, kind of half the starting lineup.
Yeah,
I suppose. 3:44 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 20-point lead here for East Mills. 3 on the way now for Sophia Taylor. That's off the back iron, no good. And the rebound tracked down by Kendra Lawman in the corner. She gets trapped. Lawman trying to get it out in a timeout. Alexi Moreno, she wants to talk it over with the Wolverines, make some substitutions. 20-point lead for East Mills. 3.5 to go in this one. We'll be back in 30 seconds here at KMA Extreme and KMA FM AM 960 Shenandoah.
When buying insurance, finding protection closer to home is always a great choice. Legacy Mutual Insurance in Stanton, a Grinnell Mutual member, is a local company and has served communities in southwest Iowa since 1870. We have independent agents ready to help you with your farm, home, and auto coverage. Go to our website at legacymutualia.com for a complete listing of our agents. For over 150 years, your family's needs and success have been our priority. That's our legacy at Legacy Mutual Insurance.
49-29 the score. East Mills with a big lead here with 3.5 to go. Nick Stavas and Brian Bertini in Oakland with you as Riverside hosting a non-conference doubleheader with the East Mills Wolverines. We'll have the boys game coming up about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one right here on the KMA Extreme and KMA AM 960 Shenandoah, so stay tuned for that. It should be a good one. Right now, East Mills just kind of cruising to the end here, Brian. They made some substitutions, a little bit of a mixed bag, get some starters mixed in with some bench players, get a little experience out here, but it's going to be another win for the Wolverines, and an impressive one at that, especially in the second half. So Ruby Hasty takes a baseline jumper, can't get it to go. The rebound to Madison Kelly as we hit the 3-minute mark here in the game. Far side, Adeline Martins with the ball in the right corner. Gets it back to the
man
wing.
Defense by the Wolverines, changing it up. They played zone pretty much primarily the first half due to foul trouble, but they've definitely picked it up, Nick, and forced a lot of turnovers, haven't they, the second half?
They absolutely have it. Another one right there as Madison Kelly was trying to save it from going out of bounds and threw it away, and then Emily Williams drew a foul on the other side, so she will go to the line.
One of those injuries you don't want to see. All it takes is a blow to there and hit something.
Yeah,
here
I'm not. If I'm Lexi Moreno, I don't know.
Yeah, you got.
I don't want to criticize coaching, and when, in these 1A schools when you don't have a lot of players to play, but Emily Williams is the backbone of this team.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure I'd have her out there in the fourth quarter of a 20-point game this late in the season.
No, it's one of those, especially in a non-conference game, that it's not going to matter in terms of your conference standings. You got this one firmly in the bag, and your team has played well all week. You want to continue that.
2 for 2 at the line goes Emily Williams, 51-29 the score.
Puts her up to a nice 15 points. That's her season average.
It is. And we get a foul called foul called on Emily Williams on the floor as Sophia Taylor went up strong against her and drew the foul, but they called it on the floor, so we'll stay with Riverside here. They'll have an inbound underneath the basket. Taylor to inbound it, trying to find somebody to get it into, and then we get a timeout. Mitch Rice. 2:35 to go here in the game. It is going to be another big win here for East Mills. 51-29 the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Nutrient Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrient Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrient Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
51-29 the score here in Oakland as East Mills is going to cruise to another road win over Riverside. Brian, as we talked in the open, it's been a pretty impressive stretch here for the Wolverines, and it just keeps getting more impressive. I don't care what the records are. You go on the road in a non-conference game and win this late in the season. It's a good win.
Yeah, and they've got 2 games, I think, winnable games next Monday, Tuesday. They host a West Harrison team that's really kind of struggling this year, and a Griswold team as well. So, yeah, you're playing your best basketball. You've got the schedule kind of favored your way. You've shown your mettle by beating 2 teams this week that potentially could have been losses, and a couple games where you kind of start to fall out, you lose interest. But the East Mills girls, the veteran leadership of the 4 seniors, really stepping up and showing right now.
Three on the way for Ayla Richardson is off the mark. The rebound to Maya Urban. Urban up ahead to Emily Williams. Williams to Hasty. Hasty for three. For a long two. That's no good. And the rebound goes to Richardson, and she gets it up ahead to Sophia Taylor. Taylor with it. Gets it to Adeline Martins. Kick back out to Sophia Taylor. Brian, when you look at this Riverside team, as we mentioned earlier, not a single senior on the roster. So, if anything this season, which really hasn't gone as they would have hoped, is just gaining a lot of good experience for Mitch Rice's team that you have to think in a couple of years with three freshmen in the starting lineup, this team's going to be don't want to take them lightly.
Well, it's trial by fire. I mean, sometimes you just got to throw them out there and say, girls, we're going to take some lumps and losses, but you're going to gain a lot of experience, and hopefully, you take a look, you work in the off season a little better, you get a little continuity playing together, as you mentioned, Nick, coming up as a group, and then some girls show some confidence. There's some potential there, and all it takes is that's how it starts. You just got to stick together, stick with it, and good things can happen. And maybe some girls fill in from behind you, and pretty soon you got a nice squad that, like you said, will start competing. But they've shown that they have flashes tonight, Nick.
Yeah, they shot the ball really well from deep. I mean, they probably only shot 5 or 6 of them, but they made 5 or 6 of them. I mean, they're efficient shooting from downtown. Of course, it ended up not being enough because of all these turnovers, and we might just have another one there as Madison Kelly just threw the ball away. It'll be out of bounds, and it will go to East Mills with 1:13 to go here in the game, and a 22-point lead for the Wolverines. Inbound to Venna Sayers. First time we've called her name tonight. Jenna Thornburg with it outside now. Gets it over to Sayers. Ruby Hasty with it. Hasty drives, and she's fouled.
Got by Hasty to attack the basket right there and get some free throws. Well-earned ones coming up.
So East Mills, as you said, will take on West Harrison on Monday. Meanwhile, Riverside's going to go to Trainer on Tuesday. A tough game against a really good Trainer team.
Yeah, their
the Western Iowa Conference in girls basketball, man, it's no joke.
No nights off.
No.
I mean, and most of the teams are well coached and they play really good defense. And they throw a variety of looks at you. You'll get man, you'll get zone, you'll get a variety of zones, you'll get a matchup zone, you'll get presses, you'll get triangle and twos, and that comes from a lot of veteran coaches, experienced coaches, and coaches that have players that they know they can trust those systems. And it makes it tough if you're one of those teams on the growing pains end of that, Nick.
Hasty went 1 for 2 at the line. A 3 on the way for Becca. Cody's no good, and the rebound tracked down by Loicy Palmer, and then a feed underneath to Kendra Lawman. She got that one blocked away, and then it's thrown out of bounds by Riverside. 40 seconds left in this game. The whole formality from here on out is it's a 23-point lead for East Mills. Again, one more reminder here. We'll have the boys' game coming up next.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Mason Krause and Grady Jefferson.
Yeah, 2 of the highest scoring 1A players, at least in KMA land for sure. 30 seconds left in this one as it looks like Venna Sayers and Bailey Richardson got tied up there. It's a jump ball. It'll go over to Riverside with 27 seconds left. Ayla and Bailey with the same last name, that's a tough one for us announcers.
You'd like to see the Riverside Bulldogs get to 30 points. Get over the hump here and find a way to get to that 30-31. But throwing the ball away like that is going to make it kind of tough. Right now, East Mills might elect they're going to keep the ball. Huh?
Riverside ball with 15 seconds left. The inbound. And another turnover there for Riverside. Nope, tipped around. Lydia Erickson controls it, throws it up off the glass, can't get it to go, and that is going to do it for this girls' matchup. 52-29 the final score. Domination for East Mills in the second half, a 23-point victory. They are now winners of 4 straight games and one of the hottest teams in the state. They moved to 13-4 on the season. Meanwhile, Riverside drops to 6-12 on the year. They will travel to Trainer next Tuesday, while East Mills will take on West Harrison and Hastings on Monday. Thanks for tuning in, folks, here on KMA 960 Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme. If you want to hear or watch the boys' game, stay right where you're at. We will have that in about 15 minutes coming up. Until then, we'll step aside. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini here in Oakland. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes.
At PCSB, we believe in helping our customers and our community grow, and service is how we do it. This is about making banking better. We are here to serve. We have an innovative spirit and a heart for people that moves us to do what's right. Because at the end of the day, we know what matters most. Visit us online at wearepcsb.com. PCSB, we believe in you. Member FDIC.
Okay, Sports Wrestling Pulse is back as we talk to three of the top wrestlers across the state. And we're going to start on the girls.
in particular the month of January. So we're ready for the conference tournament and start our peaking process here next week after that.
Yeah, talk about, you went to the John J. Harris this past week. Just kind of talk about how that tournament went for you guys, and it's kind of was the last tune-up before the postseason really gets underway with the Hawkeye 10 this weekend. So just talk about that tournament and how you felt your guys performed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if really anyone we brought over there and finished up where they wanted to, but a lot of times you need weeks like we had, or tournaments like we had there Friday and Saturday to expose yourself a little bit and understand the things you need to work on and why, and the positions you need to try to work a little bit more in. And that just, might not be the greatest performance and the best mood for everybody over the weekend, but in the long run, I think it's going to be pretty good for us.
Coach, when you look at, your roster, obviously you don't have many lower weights, but just kind of talk about the lineup throughout. What has kind of been – have there been any surprises for you? What stood out to you throughout your lineup through this regular season?
A couple of guys that have been wrestling in that 195 spot for us this year, Mason Nally and Jackson Myers. Both of those guys have shown, not only can they fill in, but they can compete at the varsity level and win matches.
Good evening and welcome back in, or welcome in for the first time if you just started listening. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini here in Oakland as we are getting set for the second installment of this non-conference girl-boy doubleheader. It is the boys' game between East Mills and Riverside. We saw East Mills win the girls' game in dominant fashion, 53-29, and now we're getting set for the boys' game, which could be a tad closer if I had to guess. East Mills comes into this game 15-2 on the year, led by head coach Kevin Schaefer. They just lost to Clarinda last night, so we will see if they can bounce back tonight. Meanwhile, Riverside comes in this game 5-11 with coming off a 60-40 victory over Audubon. And Brian, this is a game that maybe doesn't necessarily look close on paper, but I have a feeling we might see a good one here.
Well, you got star power on both sides. You got Grady Jefferson for the Bulldogs averaging 21 points a game. You got Mason Krause, the all-time leading scorer for the Wolverines, coming in 18. You got Braden West, his teammate, averaging 15. So, yeah, there's going to be some guys get points up, and this could be a little mano-a-mano tonight. Krause and Jefferson, who's going to get the upper hand? We got a nice crowd filling in tonight, and like I said, these non-conference games, coaches like them because you get to step out, you get to play maybe a different style, and it's an opportunity to kind of try some different things as you get ready to, as the boys do the same thing the girls do, get ready for tournament play.
All right, well, Brian, we are going to step aside here for this moment of silence, the Coaches versus Cancer. We'll be back in about 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Many businesses talk about service, but at Rogers Pharmacy, it's not just talk, setting them apart from the big box stores. They're a full-service pharmacy where you can not only fill prescriptions, but they also carry an impressive line of medical equipment to meet all of your needs. So whether you need oxygen, CPAP, BiPAP, lift chairs, or diabetic shoes, Rogers Pharmacy has them all. Let their family serve your family. The full-service, family-owned, independent Rogers Pharmacy, located in Tarkio, Mound City, Maryville, and St. Joe. Visit RogersRx.com.
When people ask me what my dad does, I still don't have exactly the right answer. This is Sadie, and my dad is Shane from Schaff Ag. I know he takes calls and texts early in the morning and late at night. I know he does research to find the best products at the best prices. And I know he says, I'll get that done for you. But I guess I'm still not sure what all is involved in every aspect of agronomy. But I know my dad does it all. Call Shane at Schaff Ag and see for yourself. 712-520-1333.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda to remind you that we are your local Chevrolet, Buick, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Chrysler dealer. With straightforward pricing, transparent trade appraisals, and no finance manager to deal with, we make your purchase the easiest you've ever experienced. That's our promise to you. And with an express lane for quick oil changes open 6 days a week, our service department is sure to impress you as well. Shore Motor Company in Clarinda, proudly supporting local high school sports.
And welcome back into KMA 960 Shenandoah's coverage of some non-conference high school hoops here as we are getting set for the nightcap of the boys' game between East Mills and Riverside. As I mentioned in the open, East Mills comes into this game having already wrapped up a corner conference regular season title with a win over Stanton a couple days ago. Meanwhile, Riverside comes into this game with a 5-11 record. They're 7th in the Western Iowa Conference, but they have a really good player, Brian Bertini, in Grady Jeppesen, averaging 22 points per game. And then, of course, Mason Krause on the other side for East Mills, averaging 18 points per game. That is a matchup that I have to imagine is going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight as the starting lineups are read behind us.
Well, and is it going to be where they're going to square off each other defensively, you know, or are you going to put somebody else on them? It's always fun sometimes to see if these guys go head-to-head, matched up on both ends of the floor defensively, and then it really becomes a mano-a-mano. But really what this comes down to then, Nick, is which role player is going to step up and provide that offensive support. If you kind of cancel the stars out, so to speak, who's the other guys that can step up and make some plays?
Starters tonight for the home team Riverside Bulldogs: Mason McCready, Aiden Bell, Aiden Salias, Grady Jeppesen, and Kyler Reekin. And for the visiting East Mills Wolverines, it's the same starting five we've seen all year. It's Davis McGrew, it's Mason Krause, it's Jackson Embry, Braden West, and Peyton Embry. We are set to go here in Oakland for the second of this girl-boy basketball doubleheader. It's going to be Jeppesen and Braden West to take the opening tip-off here as we are in a packed house here on Coaches versus Cancer Night. And the tip-off is in the air, and it will go to East Mills, controlled by Peyton Embry, and Davis McGrew has the ball here to start this game.
Like man-to-man defense out of the gate for the Bulldogs.
Underneath to Braden West, who lays it in immediately, and just like that, it's 2-0 East Mills.
Not a bad option to go to the 6'5" guy in a little pick-and-roll two-man game on that side. Good start for the Wolverines.
That's something Riverside is going to be at a disadvantage tonight, a severe height disadvantage for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can make up for it elsewhere. Here's Aiden Salias with it out top, gets it over to Aiden Bell. Bell trying to find Jeppesen. Instead, he's just going to drive and then kicks it back out. Jeppesen with it. Gets it over to Salias. Salias a two-point jumper. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Peyton Embry. Up ahead to Mason Krause.
The Bulldogs, too. The conference they play in, the girls we talked about, the WIC, the boys equally strong. So they're going to be used to some size and some defensive pressure.
Krause just got absolutely swatted on a drive to the bucket. He's not used to having that happen, but it looks like Mason McCready got a piece of it from behind, and now Salias with it out top. Still 2-0 the score here in the early going. Salias guarded by Krause. Gets it over to Jeppesen, who's guarded by Jackson Embry. Jeppesen, pull-up two-point jumper. That's off the mark, off the back iron. Almost went over the backboard, but comes back into play, and it's picked up by Davis McGrew. Now here comes East Mills. East Mills working from right to left on your radio dial, wearing their green road uniforms with black trim. Riverside wearing white with gold trim, as underneath Peyton Embry missed a point-blank shot at the bucket, and the rebound to Aiden Bell. And once again, East Mills with a slow start here, 1 for 4 from the field to start this game. Here's Jeppesen driving for Riverside, puts up a floater, and it goes. Tough shot in the lane.
That's the score. What scorers do. He had to change his shot in midair, Nick, and just calmly dropped it in.
Now here's Davis McGrew with it. Gets it over to the far side to Peyton Embry. Now the feed underneath to Braden West, and he's fouled before the shot.
Yeah, Kyler Reekin, I think. Yep, number 24. Again, that's one thing that the Wolverines do is have a little height advantage, and that's not even including Jared Jentz, who's 6'5" as well on the bench.
Now here's the feed to Mason Krause off the rebound. Now underneath to
West,
and West knocks it in.
Nice rebound by Jeppesen. Got his own miss, couldn't get the putback, thought he was fouled. No foul call. We play on. Not a lot of whistles there early, Nick.
Yeah, we're having a little technical difficulty on the radio side of things right now, Brian, so I'm going to lean on you for some commentary while I figure this out.
Nice attack to rim by number 2, Aiden Salias. Through contact, he'll go to the free throw line. 4-2 East Mills here early, 5:22 to go first quarter. Been an up and down game. Of course, this court a little bit longer than East Mills is used to. This is a 94-foot floor. East Mills, typical high school, is 84, and there's just a little bit more space out there, and sometimes players like that because it creates more opportunities. Missed opportunity right there for the senior Aiden Salias on the free throw line. And again, this is one of those games, I think, Nick, where the Riverside Bulldogs need to stay within striking distance so you don't have such a mountain hill to climb up, as this veteran Wolverines team has shown all year they can do that.
I believe we are back up and running, Brian, on AM 960 Shenandoah. Apologies to any listeners out there who missed the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game. There hasn't been a whole lot happening in terms of scoring, but I believe we are up and good to go. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini here in Oakland. 5:04 to go in the first quarter. It's a 4-3 ball game. Riverside with the lead over East Mills in a non-conference battle.
Well, I said that's a 94-foot floor, and I tell you what, this first about 4 minutes, Nick, they've used all 94 feet because it's been back and forth baseline to baseline.
4:54 to go here in this first quarter. 4-3 lead for Riverside. Outside with it is Aiden Bell. Gets on the far side to Mason McCready. Now to Aiden Salias, an open look for three. That's good. Aiden Salias knocks down the tray. 4-point lead for Riverside.
Yeah, nice job right there. Good curl around, set the screen. Got his shoulder square. Hit a good shot.
Here's Mason Krause with it out top. Guarded tightly by Jepson. Krause, nice pump fake, goes up. Wow, well done. Mason Krause to lay in. And that is a head fake.
Yeah.
And it's fine. That's textbook right there, kids.
How do you become the leading scorer in your school's history? You make shots like that calmly. He just waited, knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Here's McCready with it. Gets it over to Aiden Bell. Bell, top of the key to Aiden Salias. Now on the left wing, Jepson, feet underneath. And a kick out to McCready. McCready drives, stops, kicks out. Salias with it now. On the left wing. Now he drives baseline. Blows past Embry, but he's swatted from behind, and they get a foul called on Peyton Embry.
It's a nice two-man game right there by Kyler Reichen and Salias. Maybe so much attention drawn to Grady Jefferson. Salias got his hands on the ball a lot tonight this first quarter, doesn't he?
The score is 6-6, Brian. Did I miss something? Was it not just 7-5, or am I losing my brain?
I think it was 6. Yeah,
okay.
It was 6. It was 6-4, and then the basket there by Krause tied it up 6-6.
Got it. So Aiden Salias hits the first of two free throws here.
And East Mills beat Stanton 68-60 Tuesday. Had a tough game against a really pretty good Clarinda team last night. Came up short 51-45.
And anytime you're playing on the road at a school bigger than you.
Back-to-back nights on the road. And Clarinda's team's decent, and they've got some size to match up as well.
Braden West going in wildly, mishandled it, but it was picked up by Kyler Williams, who drew a shooting foul at that. So nicely done there on the awareness by Kyler Williams, who just checked in off the bench for East Mills. And he will go to the line for two shots. First shot on the way for Williams is good. And, Brian, this is a little bugaboo for this East Mills team this year. They're shooting less than 50% from the free throw line. And, I hate to say it, but you get in some tournament games, that's not going to bode well.
No, and Coach Schaefer and Coach
As
Doyle,
Williams misses
coaches,
the second shot.
They want, I'm sure they've been addressing that. But a lot of it's just confidence. And, you're right, though. That's something you don't want to have to get in the game where you come up short because you couldn't make free throws.
Here's Jepson with it, guarded by Braden West. Jepson drives left hand, turn around, nice spin move in the lane, but he's blocked away by Braden West. An amazing offensive play and an even better defensive play. Now here's Lane Maston driving baseline, and he lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by West. All that movement by Jefferson. He was working so hard to get to the rim, and West just kind of waited. That's 6'5" frame and the wingspan, and just calmly knocked away. I don't think Jepson thought there's any way he was going to get that. He did.
3:10 to go in the first quarter. 8-7 the lead for Riverside over East Mills. On the near side, this is Jepson with it. Top of the key to Aiden Bell. On the left wing, Salias. Now Jepson catches the pass to the top of the key, guarded by Braden West. Now here's a three from the right wing for Aiden Bell. That's off the mark, and the rebound to West. Braden West been all over the defensive boards here so far. Now he brings it up the floor for the Wolverines. Kicks it out to Zach Thornburg. Thornburg drives left hand. Kick out to Kyler Williams. Williams stops on the elbow. Skip pass over to Lane Maston. Now feeding the high post to Mason Krause. Krause double team. Didn't matter. Turnaround floater in the lane is good.
Left-handed too. Changed hands. Knew he couldn't get to the shot to the right. Went to this little soft touch in the lane. both his points have come right there near the basket.
Bell with it out top now for Riverside. 2:20 to go in the first. 9-8 the lead for East Mills. Feed underneath to Bell now off the pass from McCready. Now a kick out. 3 on the way for Jepson. That's off the mark, and the rebound to Mason Krause. Krause walks it up the floor for the Wolverines. Krause, nice feed underneath to West. He lost the handle, though, got it back, and then had it stripped away, but Williams came up with it. Now the kick over to Maston in the corner. Fakes the 3, feed underneath. West got the foul. Did not get the bucket to go, but that is ball movement at its finest right there, Brian Bertini.
Yeah, Lane Maston probably had a look at a 3, but realized the better pass and the better option was getting into his post player, West. Just touch pass almost, Nick, and didn't get the basket, did West, but did get the free throws.
So West to the line for 2. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. West's first free throw is off the backboard, no good.
That's a sign of good unselfish players right there. Gets to the guy that's closest to the basket.
Garrett Huff and John Alf just checked into the game for Riverside. Second free throw on the way for West is good, so it's a 2-point lead now for the Wolverines.
A little height for height there.
Looks like Jarrett Jentz checks into the game for East Mills. He has been out with an injury, with an arm injury, for like a month, I think. I haven't seen him since before Christmas break, and I've done 4 or 5 East Mills games since then. So,
well, yeah, he's 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
so
6'6", holding down the paint there.
Big.
Yeah, comes off the bench. Has not played in a long time, but he's playing tonight. And the feed to Aiden Salias on the right baseline. Salias spin move underneath, gets past Jench, kicks out. McCready wide open 3. That's no good from the corner, and the rebound to Mason Krause.
Now, that's ones you got to have. Did everything right. You hit those. You execute the offense. Shot just didn't fall.
90 seconds left in the first quarter. Jarrett Jench traveled.
Got the pivot feet up before he put the ball down the floor. He was excited to go to score, wasn't he?
As Jeffson comes back into the game, Mason McCready takes a breather for the first time tonight with 1:23 to go in the first quarter. So Elias walks it up the floor for Riverside. The top of the key for Huff. Huff gets it to Jepson. Jepson, nice spin move, driving the lane, lay in, left hand. Beautiful move there from Jepson.
Yeah, Gent's a little bit late coming over there. And boy, that time he wasn't going to risk getting the shot blocked, went to the left hand.
Feed underneath to Maston. Nicely done there by Kyler Williams and Lane Maston on the little backdoor exchange as Maston lays it in. And Williams picks up the assist, and it's a 12-10 ball game. Now underneath, here's John Alf scoring in the lane. Alf with a shot over the big man, Jench.
Nice assist by Salice right there. Just waited to the defender, got a lane, and he went right to the guy who was open, as you mentioned.
Feed underneath to Jench. Jench off the glass. It's good, and that's just height being height there, Brian.
Yeah, it is. And again, knowing your players, get the passing angle, get it up to high where nobody else can catch it but him. Little offensive flurry here, Nick, the last 2 possessions. Jepson's blocked.
And now Jepson is blocked. Rebound to Jarrett Jench now with 16 seconds left. And no shot clock here. Zach Thornburg with the ball. Thornburg takes it to the right wing, gets it to the top of the key for Mason Krause. Krause is just going to take a deep 3, and he got it! Mason Krause nails a long ball. And it's a 5-point lead now for East Mills. 3 on the way at half court, no good. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. 17-12 the score. Fun action so far in this boys contest between East Mills and Riverside. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
This is Eric Huff from Total Farm Solutions west of Carson. We're excited to offer growers yet another way to increase their profits. We made this decision with input from our customers to go with a proven company, Pioneer. Pioneer Seed is a leader in the industry, and we are anxious to talk to our customers about the benefits of planting Pioneer. We wanted to take advantage of this opportunity for our customers. Contact me today at Total Farm Solutions west of Carson to find out more about how planting Pioneer on your acres can help your operation.
17-12 the score at the end of the first quarter. East Mills with the lead. As the Wolverines, a little bit of a back and forth action there, Brian, to start this game, but that big 3 there, that was a deep 3. That had to be good from, that was...
It's about 6 feet behind the line.
Yeah, 6 feet behind the line.
I think he glanced up at the clock and realized, well, nobody's guarding me. I didn't have a hand in my face, and I'll take a chance, and then hit nothing but net, didn't it?
So a 5-point lead for the Wolverines, looking to bounce back from just their second loss of the season, a loss to Clarinda on the road last night. Meanwhile, Riverside coming off a win against Audubon. They've only won. That was their only win in their last 5 games.
An impressive win, too, 60-40. So
playing in a tough conference, Western Iowa Conference, definitely some really tough competition as Aiden Bell drives, kicks out to McCready in the corner. McCready gets to the top of the key for Salias. Salias working on Kraus. Stops, pops off the glass, no good, and the rebound to West. Braden West walks it up the floor for East Mills. West gets it to Kraus on the left-hand wing. Kraus gets a screen from Jench. Now he drives baseline, gets cut off by McCready, and kicks back out to Peyton Embry, and they'll reset with Davis McGrew at the top of the key. Now Jackson Embry with it on the right side wing. Tried to feed it down low to Braden West, but it was knocked away, and now we have a scramble for it, and a foul is going to be called on Braden West.
Yeah, good weak side help right there. They doubled down on the post. They knew the ball was probably going to be entered right there. Not a sharp pass in. First foul, I think, on Braden West. Good defensive possession right there for the Bulldogs.
Here's Jepson walking it up the floor for Riverside. Drives right side baseline, kick out. Wide open 3 on the way for Aiden Salias. He can't get that, and the rebound to Braden West.
He's had a couple good looks. He hit one early. They can get some production from him from perimeter. It's going to open up Jepson's opportunities on the inside.
Well, the feed underneath to Jackson Embry got swatted away, but the rebound goes to Braden West, and he lays it in off the glass. Nicely done there on the follow-up.
Yeah, the big guy knows what to do with it. Finds a ball just handed right to him, and he finishes.
Salias with it outside, gets it to Aiden Bell on the left wing. Now a feed to Jepson up top, guarded by Jackson Embry. Nice speed underneath to Aiden Bell, but he's cut off nicely by Peyton Embry, and then it tried to thread the needle back to Jepson, and it's stolen away by Davis McGrew. Now McGrew with some speed on a 3-on-2. McGrew takes it himself, lays it up, no good. Foul is called, and he'll go to the line.
He was waiting to see if Mason Kraus could get ahead of him or even with him, but he wasn't, and he decided to take the ball to the basket himself using his left hand, shielded the defender. Didn't get the basket, but nice job by Davis to draw contact, get some free throws, Nick.
So Davis McGrew to the line for 2. First free throw is short, off the mark.
It's kind of surprising as well as this team has got some good shooters that they struggle like they have at the free throw line all year.
They shoot 20% from 3, Brian, and that's up from last week, because last week in my notes in the game we did last week, they shot 14% or 18% from 3. So this is a team that has really struggled to shoot the ball, and to be 15-2 with those numbers is pretty impressive.
That means you're getting a lot of run-out steals and you guys maybe some offensive putbacks. But, yeah, that's going to something that's you don't want that to be the monster that comes up and gets you at the end of the season tournaments.
McGrew missed both at the line. On the other side, Jepson missed a 2-point jumper. Salias got the rebound, though, and now Jepson driving, puts it up, trying to draw contact, can't get it to go, got his own board, puts it up again. Crowd wants a foul, no foul called, and West with the rebound.
No whistle, we play on, right?
Here's West with it now, driving, turn around, fakes the shot, kicks out. Mason Kraus spin in the lane, no good. No, he just lost the ball. It was stripped away there by Aiden Bell. Now Bell streaking down the far sideline. Look for McCready in the corner. Now Jepson, top of the key, straightaway 3 is good.
Yeah, I think Grady does good on the trail threes like that, where he can kind of get his momentum going too. And that's a big basket as East Mills have kind of built a little bit of a lead.
Grady Jefferson knocks down the 3 and gets his team back within 4. 19-15 to score with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Here's Mason Kraus driving left hand, had it swatted away, got his own rebound, drew the foul and won. Mason Kraus got his own shot blocked, caught that block, put it back up, got the bucket and drew the foul. That's just...
Well, it was blocked right back to him, which helped, and he was able to gather his body and go right back up again, which is what you should do, and drew the contact, and like as you mentioned, got the old-fashioned three-point play coming up.
They haven't awarded him the points on the scoreboard yet, but I assume they're going to. The free throw is on the way, and it's good. It still says 19-15. I don't know why. They're behind. There it goes. All right, 22-15 the score now.
Kraus up to 10 now.
Mason Kraus just interviewed his sister Aspen.
And he's going to take a seat for a little bit.
3 on the way for Jepson. That's no good, and the rebound to Jackson Embry. Now here's Davis McGrew bringing it up the floor. Outlet pass to Braden West. West catches it underneath the basket. Had it swiped away, though, by Aiden Bell. Bell with some steals underneath the basket so far.
2 times down the court he's been able to get his hands on the ball.
Now here's McCready with it. It's a right side wing to Aiden Bell. Bell looked for the dribble handoff to Jepson, wasn't there. Now here's Salias with it. Salias spins in the lane. Nice feed underneath to Alf, but he got swatted by Peyton Embry. Now here comes Davis McGrew with it. McGrew outside. Feed underneath to West. West wide open in the post, and he knocks it in. Another easy bucket for Braden West underneath the basket. The height is showing advantage East Mills. 24-15 the score. 4.5 to go here in the first half. Timeout Riverside. We'll take a 30-second break here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Do more with your money at TS Bank. Whether it's saving a little extra cash each month or creating a long-term strategy, their goal is to help you transform your financial life. At TS Bank, they ignite prosperity by helping clients do more with their money. Visit one of the Southwest Iowa locations in Trainer, Council Bluffs, Atlantic, or Corning today. TS Bank, member FDIC.
24-15 the score. East Mills with the lead. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Mason Krause has 10 of his team's 24 points, Brian. And what about Mason Krause makes him so special?
I think he's just a cool customer. You notice he just doesn't force things. He's not a guy that feels like he has to have the ball all the time. He waits and waits and waits. And he gets good quality shots, and you look up at the end of the night and go, he's got 17 points. He's got 18 points. He's got 22 points. And it gets him in a variety of different ways, and that's a sign of a really good player.
Here's Jepson, another really good player. He drives the baseline, gets fouled on the floor by Lane Maston. Jepson averaging 22 points a game for this Riverside team, has 7 already tonight.
Well, they're going to need to get his 22 if they're going to have a chance tonight, because right now we're at that crucial point here. 4:19 to go, Nick. East Mills with a 9-point lead, and a couple more baskets. This gets to double digit, 13-14. East Mills has got guys that can spread the floor, and of course the size advantage down makes it really difficult for the Bulldogs.
And then we get an offensive foul on the inbound.
Is that on Jepson?
I'm not sure who they called that on. It was on Jepson, so his second foul on Jepson. And now here's Zach Thornburg walking up the floor for East Mills. Thornburg gets it to Krause in the left wing. Now Kyler Williams, who just checked into the game.
Bulldogs
passing around
the zone.
Passing around the perimeter to kick out. Zach Thornburg, now Kyler Williams, now Mason Krause with it. Krause looking for an entry pass, instead flips it over to Lane Maston in the corner. Maston threw it away. Here's Aiden Salias on the breakaway. Gets it up ahead to Jepson, almost lost it out of bounds, tracked it down. Jepson, the kick out to McCready, and then he lost the ball. Stolen away by Kyler Williams. Here comes Williams with a 2-on-2. Feed underneath to Thornburg, and Thornburg with a nice jump stop, and he scores.
Yeah, Salias going for the block. Thornburg kind of figured something was coming. Job by Zach up and under. Double-digit lead now for East Mills.
Here's Salias with it. Gets it over to Aiden Bell. Straight away three on the way. No good. Rebound to Maston. East Mills looking to continue building this lead up 11 with 3:19 to go in the second. Here's Thornburg to Krause, near side corner. Krause driving, cut off on the baseline. Lost it out of bounds. It was off of the foot of Aiden Bell, though, so we'll stay with the Wolverines.
That doesn't surprise us. He's had his hands on a lot of balls down there defensively tonight. Just pesky defender.
Here's Krause with it, gets it into Thornburg. Now back to Krause in the corner. 3 on the way for Krause. That's off the mark, and the rebound goes to Mason McCready. And now Riverside comes the other way. Salias up the far sideline, gets to the left wing. Looks for an entry pass, backs down Mason Krause. Krause defending tightly. Now the kick back out to Mason McCready. Now here's Jepson with it, guarded by Maston. Back up top to Aiden Bell. The far side on the left wing to Salias. Now here's Mason McCready. Had a look at a 3, decided to drive, lost the ball going in, and it's stolen away by Braden West.
See what Salias was going to do. Decided that he had the height advantage and finished at the rim. He's got up to 9 points now.
2.5 to go in the first half. 13-point lead for East Mills. Yep. And an offensive foul. No, it's a carry.
Yeah, he was going to try to hit Jepson on a backdoor cut and realized that he didn't have it, and he turned that hand over underneath, as you mentioned, Nick, and turned it over. And those are the ones that frustrate coaches because they're empty possessions, don't even get a shot off.
28-15 still to score. Kyler Williams with it outside, gets it to the right corner, for Braden West. Now back out to Williams, now West. Now Thornburg lost it, kept it, got it back, kick out, Mason Krause. Now Krause drives the lane through traffic, puts it up and in. Mason Krause just driving through a swarm of white jerseys there and scoring in the lane.
Yeah, he's not adverse to contact. He likes that, and he does a great job of having a soft touch around the rim.
30-15 the score. East Mills has doubled up Riverside here in this first half. Riverside needs a bucket in the worst way right now. Jepson with it, guarded by Maston. Jepson makes a move. Free throw line jumper's good.
That's it. That's being aggressive by Grady right there to take him off the dribble and then pull up and hit the mid-range shot. Don't get too deep where Braden West or somebody's waiting for you by the rim.
90 seconds to go here in this second quarter. 13-point lead for East Mills. 30-17 the score. Braden West with it. He's going to take an open three from the corner. That's off the back iron, no good. But Zach Thornburg gets the long rebound. Nice pass underneath to Mason Krause, who lays it in. Zach Thornburg with one of the better passes I have seen in a while here on this high school basketball court. He did. Yeah, the court vision there.
He threw a dime
to get the board, and a no-look pass underneath the basket to Mason Krause. Meanwhile, Grady Jetson says, how about this for an answer? Well, knocks down a three.
5 points in a row
on a
by
catch
him
and
the
shoot.
Last two yeah, he's got 12 points. And again, this battle between the two guys, but it's the other guys, East Mills, have been the difference so far.
Back to a 12-point lead for East Mills. Skip pass from West over here to the near side for Zach Thornburg. Thornburg gets trapped, lost the ball. Solias comes away with it. Here comes Solias, and he'll pull things up. 42 seconds left in the second quarter. Feet underneath. Lay in easy for Mason McCready.
Nice
and it's
job
back to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, good patience by Solias. Wait until the defender made a decision. He had 2-on-1. He just had to pick the right pass with the right guy and got it.
Now outside. Zone look here, and Zach Thornburg just about got himself trapped again. Gets it away to Kyler Williams.
They're holding for the last shot here.
17 seconds. The shot clock and game clock are perfectly synced up. The shot clock should just be off. Skip pass to Mason Krause. 3 on the way from the left corner. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Riverside. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Jepson, half-court shot on the way. Almost off the back iron, no good, and that takes us to the end of the first half. 32-22 the score. 10-point lead for the road team East Mills Wolverines here in the second game of this girl-boy doubleheader. We'll be back in about 8 minutes with the second half here on KMA 960. Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme.
Find your place at Northwest Missouri State University. From day one, experience a university like no other. In the classroom, you'll find career-ready academic programs and hands-on learning, not to mention championship sports teams and clubs. Find your passion and your people. Plus, textbooks and a fully loaded laptop are included in your tuition, with $19 million in scholarships and aid available. They also have a 97% placement rate. Visit nwmissouri.edu to apply today. Northwest Missouri State University, where Bearcats connect.
Talking with Amy McClintock, the longtime Sydney volleyball coach, and was at one time the girls basketball coach. Lots of success, a state championship winner, a state runner-up during the volleyball tenure, and multiple other trips to the state tournament, plus state basketball tournament as well. Now, basketball had not been coaching for a little bit, and now won't be coaching volleyball, as Coach McClintock has decided to step down from the volleyball position at Sydney, and thought we'd talk with her a little bit about that. First of all, I want to say hello to Coach McClintock. Coach, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for taking the time to chat. Obviously, I'm sure this was a decision that you had mulling around in your head a little bit. Tell me a little bit about it and kind of how you came to the decision, how it kind of all came about.
Well, after the state championship in 2019, I didn't want to finish just going out as a state champion, of course. So I decided to come back, and that was the year, of course, that COVID hit. So that was a little challenging. We didn't get much time in the summer, and, everything was shut down for a good portion of 6 months. So coaching the last couple years, I'd kind of toyed with the idea, and, I was fairly certain at the beginning of the season, and by the end of the season, getting the girls to the regional final was good for this group. I was kind of hoping to get them to the state tournament and get a play in the new arena, the change for state volleyball. But, I just decided it's time. I think it's time to let someone else come in. The program's still strong. We've got a great core group coming back. We've got a good freshman group coming in. The junior high I coached this year, they had a lot of success. So I want to step away when the program's in good shape.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that is definitely respectable, and not that you need that from me or anything like that, but definitely commendable. Tell me about the, obviously, the hours that you put in. I know you're doing, you have another job. You're not just a volleyball coach, and so
Being involved in sports that it and as well as teaching it's a lot of hours. It's just not like a show up at 4:00 and leave at 6:00 type of job. So, if you want to have success, you got to build a program. So that's what we did here. We, when I first started, we were putting in 4 days a week in the summer. So just to get the girls where we thought they needed to be. So Well, that's a good question. I think we'll see how this next year goes, and I'm not going to completely rule it out.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's a possibility down the road. I think just taking the next year off and officiating and just kind of seeing how I enjoy my time? Do I feel like I need to coach? Do I miss it? So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things up in the air as far as I definitely think I'm going to miss the kids because that's the big thing about coaching sports. So, but as far as all the hours, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to hit a big number this year in age. So we'll see how things go and how they shake out. And I would probably never rule out the opportunity. It's just we'll see how this next year goes. But
Well, let me be the first to congratulate you on your 40th birthday, Coach.
Yes, 40. We'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for the time and all the years and interviews that you've done. Appreciate it, and we wish you the best here trying to find something to do other than officiate volleyball, all right?
Yes, I just want to thank you for all the coverage. Thanks to the parents, the staff, my family for putting up with all my time away. So I think everybody that's had an opportunity to be involved. The community, they've been great. Other coaches around the area, you know, you create a lot of friendships. So it's good to be competitive with those other schools and also be friends with the coaches. So it's been a great ride.
Right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Derek.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
And welcome back into Oakland. KMA 960 Shenandoah. Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini. Some technical difficulties coming out of the half, but we're right back here. You only missed 30 seconds, and a jumper made it by Aiden Bell of Riverside to make it an 8-point game. East Mills with a 32-24 lead with 7.5 to go in the third quarter. And Brian, what's your kind of overall reaction to this game so far?
Well, right now, for Riverside, get the first stop. They stopped East Mills, get the score, so they chipped in that lead. Important for them, I think, to just kind of stay within striking distance here.
Feed underneath to Braden West, and he scores again. West.
Nice pass by Embry. Again, the size advantage is definite for the Wolverines.
West has 11 so far for East Mills, the 6'5 forward for the Wolverines. Now Jepson with it. He's going to take a three from the left wing. That's no good. The rebound, though, underneath to John Alf. Now Alf kicks it out. Here's Salias, and he traveled when he caught it.
Yeah, little happy feet right there. Good rebound by Alf, but happy feet by Salias. And again, if you're Coach Nick Kroon, you really can't afford too many empty possessions, Nick, when you're down by 10. And this methodical and workmanlike East Mills team can just wear you down.
6:42 to go here in the third quarter. 34-24 the score. East Mills with the lead. Jackson Embry with it out on the right wing. Skip pass over to Davis McGrew. Now underneath to Braden West. Had it knocked away as he went up for the shot. And Aiden Salias comes away with it. Once again, Aiden Bell with the quick hands. Now Jepson with it. Kicks it out to Salias. Salias top of the key working on Embry. And he'll back things out and reset the offense.
Pocketer. He's got a nice little chunk of change in his hands, doesn't he?
The left wing, 3 on the way for Salias. That's off the back iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. West came away with it. Now here comes West bringing it up the floor for East Mills. West drives, bounce pass, Embry, baseline jumper from the right side, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off of Davis McGrew, and it should, oh no. Whoa, wait a second.
They're going to overturn that.
Yeah, the original call was Riverside ball, and then it should be Riverside ball. Yes, it is. The crowd was not too happy about that call, nor should they have been. I think it was just an honest mistake there by the referee.
Yeah, and he's shielded a little bit. The other guy on the outside had a little better angle, and that's what you do. And the 3-man crew works as a team.
Here's Aiden Bell with it. Gets to the top of the key. Now Salias a 3 on the way. That's good from the right side wing. Aiden Salias knocks down the tray, and it's a 7-point game.
Well, and if West is going to come out and guard Jepson, somebody else is going to have to shoot the ball perimeter, and that was Salias'. Nice 3 by him.
McGrew with it, gets it in the right side corner to Braden West, who's trapped in the zone. Then McGrew gets it back, feet underneath to Mason Krause. Turn around, no good. On the rebound, tipped around, scramble for it. Still a scramble for it, and then we get a carry called on Grady Jepson. On Mason McCready, who was coming away with the ball.
Again, that ball just couldn't get a clean handle on it, and he had that double dribble, picked it up and put it down. So a run-out layup possible for the Bulldogs. Gets nothing, and East Mills on the attack again.
Braden West, skip pass over. McGrew, 2-point jumper on the way off the mark. Rebound, long one goes to Jackson Embry, and it'll stay with East Mills. And the feet underneath, knocked away by Aiden Bell, but Peyton Embry picked it up and put it up and in. Aiden Bell is just in every passing lane, it feels like. But that time, unable to come away with the steal, and Embry gets the bucket. Back to a 9-point lead for East Mills. Here's Salias with it on the right wing. Riverside in their white uniforms with gold trim, working from right to left on your radio dial, and Salias drove baseline and stepped out. Turnover there for Riverside.
Good defense by McGrew, just enough of a push right there. Salias had nowhere to go, and again, another empty possession, which the Bulldogs, even though it's still early in the second half, you don't want to have too many of those because, again, East Mills has been pretty efficient offensively.
Feed in the high post to Peyton Embry, and then the pass down low to Mason Krause was tipped away and stolen by Salias. Now here's Jepson with it, bringing it up the floor for Riverside. Stops at the free throw line, Euro step around West, puts it off the glass, no good. Rebound goes to Mason Krause. Now here's West on a breakaway, one-on-one with Salias, and he got blocked hard and fouled hard as West goes flying into the padding there on the back wall, and he will go to the line for 2.
Well, West does a really nice job around the floor. He got from end to end in a hurry right there and didn't get the finish, but he didn't get the free throws.
He is the definition of what they call in today's game a stretch forward. His ability to handle the ball and shoot from the perimeter while also being 6'5" and guard inside is quite impressive.
He's got enough foot speed to guard people on the perimeter as well, and recover. And yeah, it's kind of a little disconcerting to see a 6'5" guy come out and guard you in the perimeter and he can stay with you.
He missed his first free throw. Second free throw on the way is good. He's got 12. Mason Krause has 14 to lead East Mills. And that's been a problem for Kevin Schaefer's team. Every time I've interviewed him, he said, we got to get the other guys going. West and Krause cannot carry us every night. And right now, that is not the case as a jumper and a shooter's roll there for Grady Jepson, and as he knocks down the 2-pointer, and it's back to an 8-point game.
Yeah, 14 by him, 14 by Krause, so their 2 leading scorers doing their job.
Maston breaks the press, goes up, got blocked by Grady Jepson from behind, and then John Alf comes away with the board on the ground, and then they get a timeout. Riverside, before the travel called, the timeout is called, and so Riverside gets possession. 3:57 to go here in the third quarter. 8-point lead, 37-29 the score. East Mills on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Seeing is believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
Coming out of the Riverside timeout, 8-point lead for East Mills midway through the third quarter. Third game of the week for both of these squads. As Salias walks it up the floor for Riverside, guarded by Kyler Williams. Celias drives baseline, and he threw a foul on the floor on Williams.
Going to be busy next week, too. East Mills boys and girls in action Monday. West Harrison, that'll going to be in Hastings. Trevor and I will have the call of that one. And then Griswold back to conference. The Riverside, Monday they'll go to Boyer Valley and then Trainer, so no nights off there.
Celias just about had a 5-second violation and then threw the ball away, and then Mason Krause stole it and just laid it in on the other end all alone. That was just some miscommunication, and one that you can't have when you're trying to come from behind, Brian.
One of the easiest points he's had all year, I think, right there. Just a free gift, and of course Mason knows what to do with those.
Back to a 10-point lead for East Mills after the turnover in the bucket. Bell, a 3 on the way for the Riverside. No good, and the rebound to Zach Thornburg. Here come the Wolverines with some speed. Thornburg backs things out, sets up the offense. Takes it to the top of the key, gets it to Kyler Williams on the right wing, back to Thornburg. Passing around the perimeter, nice backdoor cut and feed to Mason Krause. Krause is fouled on his way up. The shot counted. He didn't make it, but it is a shooting foul, so he will go to the line for 2 free throws.
So every time that Riverside's made a little dent in that double-digit lead, the Wolverines have found an answer.
First free throw on the way for Mason Krause, and he missed it.
Yeah, that's going to be something that, if you get into a game with some of the good teams in 1A, going to tournament time, Nick, and Coach Schaefer is going to have to be concerned that you don't want the free throw line to be the deciding factor.
Second foul shot on the way for Krause. He made that one, so back to an 11-point lead for East Mills. 40-29 the score with 3 minutes to go in the third.
Might be time to bring in the hypnotist. Work on the mental thing, right?
Here's a baseline jumper. A wild shot there from Celias was blocked away by Jared Jentz, who just checked into the game. Now East Mills comes with it the other way. Krause with it out top, guarded tightly by Garrett Huff. Gets it to the right corner for Jared Jentz, who takes a corner 3. That's off the mark, and the rebound goes.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit of rush.
A little ill-advised, maybe?
Yeah.
Now here's Jepson for 3. That's just off the mark. Bounced around and out. Now the rebound goes to John Alf, though, and the kick out to Aiden Bell, and Riverside keeps it alive. Here's Celias with it. Guarded by Thornburg at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Jepson. Now Celias driving, cut off on the baseline, and he is fouled on the floor. Kevin Schaefer thought he traveled.
I think he did too.
I think he did as well, but they call the foul on the floor. That one is on Zach Thornburg, just his first. And an inbound underneath the basket here for Jepson. Jepson driving, turnaround, tough shot in the lane, and he got it to go. That's it. The only other guy I've seen make that shot is Mason Krause and Fitzy Grant from Sioux City East. Other than that, that is a tough shot to make, man. Here's Kyler Williams with it. To Thornburg on the right wing. Back to Williams. A 3 on the way straight away. That's good. Kyler Williams off the bench knocks down a tray, and it's back to a 12-point lead for East Mills.
That's a dagger because just felt like there's a little bit of momentum maybe coming up for the Bulldogs here before the end of the quarter, and Williams bumps it back up to 12.
Williams has 4 on the night. Dribble handoff to Celias, and another dribble handoff to Jepson, guarded by Maston. Gets a screen from Alf. Kick to the far side corner for Celias. Celias drives baseline, gets caught underneath. Nice defense from Williams. Kick back out to Alf. 10 seconds to shoot. Aiden Bell with it at the top of the key. Dribble handoff there to Jepson. 5 seconds to shoot. Jepson, long 3 on the way. That's good! Grady Jepson at the end of the shot clock knocks down the 3 ball.
There's nothing Braden West could do. You just tip your hat and say, great shot.
It was a great screen there by John Alf right at the end of the shot clock. Gave Jepson just a little bit of room to get that shot up, and he drained it.
And he kept the ball alive on that offensive rebound and gave him a second chance.
Here's Krause now working on Jepson. Drives, puts it up off the glass. No good, but the foul is called, so he will go to the line for 2 shots. Riverside crowd wanted a push off. I could see a little bit of an elbow, forearm forward, but no call there. Instead, Krause goes to the line after the foul is called on Jepson, and that is Jepson's 3rd, Brian.
Yeah, at this point in juncture, though, you're going to have to play through it because you can't take him out. He's the guy that's your primary offensive weapon.
Yeah, and with 3 fouls, there's only a minute to go in the 3rd quarter,
right.
So it's really not that big a deal.
4 would be a little different story.
Right. 60 seconds left in the 3rd. Krause makes both of them. 2 for 2 at the line goes Mason Krause. So back to an 11-point lead, and East Mills just kind of keeping Riverside at arm's length right now. It's been between an 8 and a 12-point lead for, since about midway through the 2nd quarter, Brian.
Yeah, if they get a basket here, quarter break, and make something happen, maybe get a steal, maybe almost a 2-for-1 possession here.
West back into the game. Mason Krause takes a breather. Here's Salias with it, gets it to Jepson, top of the key. Catch and shoot, no good on the 3. Rebound to Zach Thornburg, and East Mills comes the other way with 45 seconds to go in the third. Here's Thornburg driving. Thornburg, left hand, up off the glass, no good, but he got a foul call, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Nobody picked him up, Nick, and he had a free run to the basket right there, and good job by Zach to recognize that. And weak side help, a little late coming over.
40 seconds to play here in the third quarter. 11-point lead for East Mills. Thornburg's first foul shot is in and out.
After a while, when your whole team starts, then it becomes a mental block a little bit. You know, you're trying too hard.
It's contagious.
Yeah, it is. Either way, positive and negative.
Second free throw rattles home for Thornburg, so it's a 12-point lead, 46-34 the score. East Mills with the lead with 35 seconds to go. Here's Jepson with it outside for Riverside. He drives right hand, a shot over off the backboard over Braden West, and he gets it to go.
And that's how you get to your average, Nick. He said it's average 21 right now. What a great finish by Grady.
Grady Jepson stands, he's listed at 6'2", 6'2" maybe in heels. And he just made that shot over Braden West. Impressive stuff as Kevin Schaefer's going to take a timeout here to talk it over with his squad. 15 seconds to go. East Mills will have last shot. Back in 30 seconds here on the KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Chance of snow tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows around 26, east winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Overcast skies tomorrow, chance of snow, high of 29. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow night, chance of flurries, lows around 4 above. Turning much cooler Sunday and Monday with highs in the mid-teens. Another look at the short range, lows level off around 26 tonight, highs reach 29 tomorrow. I'm weatherology meteorologist Laura Lockwood on KMA. Right now, 31.
Thank you, Laura. 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. In this battle of Western Iowa Conference and Corner Conference teams. As East Mills comes out of the timeout, they'll have last shot here in the third with a 10-point lead. Here's Zach Thornburg with it outside. 8 seconds now. Thornburg moves to the right side wing, looking for somebody to pass it to. Thornburg gets trapped, gets it to Kyler Williams. Now Thornburg with 1 second puts up a wild 3, almost banked it home, but cannot go. And Kevin Schaefer, not a huge fan of the execution there. But either way, his team will take a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter. 46-36 the score. Wolverines lead by 10 here in Oakland. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here, KMA 960 Shenandoah. 960 Shenandoah.
For the very, very best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. Be sure to try the Chicken Cruiser. This is Cubby's new slider sandwich that people are raving about. A hot and fresh chicken strip on a Sister Schubert dinner roll. It's amazing. Don't forget to use the Cubby's app to save on gas and more. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.com.
Back here in Oakland, Nick Stavas alongside Brian Bertini with you here on KMA 960 Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme. 46-36 the score. East Mills with the lead after 3 quarters, Brian. Riverside is not out of it yet, but they got some work to do. What do they need to do to get back in this game?
Well, they got to get a stop and a score. East Mills will start the quarter with the ball. Get a stop, get a score, get it down to single digits. Find a way. East Mills has struggled with the free throw line, so if you can get this into a foul situation where you get some one-on-one opportunities, you get your hands on the ball. But I think the guy that I want to see step up here is Aiden Salias. He's been kind of quiet here in the second half. He hit some nice baskets in the first half, but can't all be Grady Jepson.
Jepson has 21 for Riverside. Mason Krause has 19 for East Mills. Wolverines with the ball. Davis McGrew with it on the right wing. Gets it over to Mason Krause on the left wing.
Bulldogs come out in the quarter in the zone.
Feed on the high post to Braden West. Got cut off, backed it out. Now one-on-one with Aiden Bell. West picks up his dribble, feeds it underneath to Peyton Embry. Goes off the glass, no good. Shot tipped around, and then the rebound goes to Riverside. Now here's Jepson on a breakaway, and he lays it in.
Well, there's the stop and the quick score, so that's great what you want if you're Coach Nick Kroon and the Bulldogs. Give a little life here, start the quarter.
8-point lead now for East Mills. McGrew with it. Perimeter passing here, trying to get past this zone. Skip pass over to Kraus. Thought about the three, now drives on Jepson. Pulls up for two at the baseline, airballed it. The rebound to Braden West, though, and then West turns around, puts it off the glass and in. And maybe Mason Kraus will say that was a pass, Brian.
Maybe, but that's just 6'5", Braden West being 6'5". Good timing by him, and that's a big putback. Another stop and a score. Riverside would be right back in this game.
Jepson for three off the feed from Solias, in and out, and the rebound to Peyton Embry. Now up ahead to Jackson Embry. Brings it across half court, gets it to Mason Kraus, top of the key. Thought about the three, now back to Braden West on the right wing. Looks like he traveled, no call. Kraus with it now, goes left hand. Now kick out to Davis McGrew in the left corner. He brings it to the top of the key, gets it to Braden West. West drives, and he traveled.
That time he did travel.
West took one too many steps and a turnover there for East Mills. 10-point lead, 48-38 the score, 6:22 to go in the game.
Again, Riverside really can't afford to match basket for basket here. That East Mills will gladly take that. They've got to get multiple stops and some scores and put a little pressure on the Wolverines.
Outside with it on the right wing is Solias. Gets it to the top of the key for Bell. Now to Jepson on the left wing. Working on Braden West. Spin move in the lane, jump stop, and a foul called on Peyton Embry on the floor, I think. Or was it on Davis McGrew? It was on McGrew.
We're seeing some good star power tonight between Kraus and Jefferson, but boy, there's going to be some star power on display in Hastings on Monday night, Nick, with West Harrison boys coming in.
I envy you, Brian.
Colson Evans, Sage Evans.
Feet underneath off the inbound to Mason McCready. Through the contact, made the bucket. Nick Kroon really wanted an and one foul, but either way, it's a bucket, and it's back to an 8-point lead for East Mills. On the right wing, Braden West, skip pass over to Mason Kraus on the left wing. Kraus driving, he was fouled.
Get an arm foul right there. And in a sense, that's not a bad foul if you're Riverside, because at some point here, you're going to have to get into 1-and-1. And you don't want to get to the point where it's too late in the game.
Kraus to inbound it from underneath the basket. Gets it into Davis McGrew, who dribbles it to the half-court line. Now McGrew gets to the top of the key. Now Kraus. Nice feed. Oh, it's an alley-oop for Braden West, but he couldn't quite catch it. And then Peyton Embry saved it and threw it off of Grady Jepson's leg, so East Mills would keep possession. I thought Mason Kraus shot the three, but it looked like he short-armed it, and he did because it was an alley-oop to Braden West, and that would have been really cool, but West couldn't quite catch the oop. And now a steal from Grady Jepson off the inbound. Here comes Jepson up ahead to Solias. Solias lays it in, and a goaltend called on Braden West.
This is the closest the Bulldogs have been in a little while, but a great job by Jepson. A nice underhand pass, and Solias, he's up to 11. Just like that, Nick.
How about that?
Two-possession game.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound like an East Mills homer here because it was a beautiful play there by Aiden Solias, but the hustle to get back and block that shot by West, just a split second too late, called for the goaltend. But that shot did not go in. Mason Kraus for three. That one did. Mason Kraus knocks down the tray.
That's like a dagger, isn't it?
And another dagger there for Mason Kraus.
Just when you thought you're making some gains and maybe get this down under a two-possession game, and it's like that. It's all that work's wasted. Nice pass.
As a lay-in there for
Jepson,
and it's back to a 7-point game.
These guys are dueling out. 25 for him, 22 for Mason.
And a feed underneath to Jackson Embry. Can't get the lay-in to go, and the rebound goes to Aiden Bell. And then it's tipped away by Mason Kraus out of bounds, and it will stay. No, it will go to Riverside as Mason Kraus
stepped on the line.
Could not quite keep it in.
The Riverside contingent wanting a foul right there. Didn't get it. The officials have been, I think for the most part, pretty consistent, Nick. They've just let some things go, but it's on both sides.
So 4:36 to play. 51-44 the score. East Mills with the lead, Riverside with the ball. Solias walks it up the floor for the Bulldogs. Gets a screen from Jepson, and then we get a foul called. I think that's going to be on Kyler Williams trying to fight over the screen, and it is. So Williams tagged with his second foul of the night. 4.5 to go here in the game. Here's Solias to inbound it. Gets it into Jepson in the right corner. Kick out. McCready with it. Now Jepson at the top of the key. Gets it over to Aiden Solias on the right wing. Elias gets a screen from Rican. Now Elias stops, picked up his dribble, gets it back to Jepson, back to Elias. 18 to shoot here. Now here's Jepson. Thought about the three in the corner. Head fake, backs it out. On the right wing, Aiden Bell with it. 10 to shoot. Jepson, top of the key, takes a three over Embry. Can't get it to go, just short. Jepson his own rebound, and he lays it in.
Now, Coach Schaefer's upset, didn't box him out. He knew he missed it short, but he went right after it. Nice putback. He's up to 27.
Grady Jepson putting on a show right now, and Kevin Schaefer wants a timeout. He is livid with his team over on the other side. 3:43 to go in the game. We got an interesting one here, folks. 51-46, a 5-point lead for East Mills. We'll take a 30-second break back here in 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
51-46 the score here with just over 4 minutes to play in this game. Brian, East Mills has been, kind of leading by 8-12, 10, 11, just kind of back and forth, and they kind of kept Riverside at bay for the most part. But now Grady Jepson has 27 points with 3:43 to go in this game, and it's just a 5-point game, and East Mills better wake up here, I would say, if they don't want to get upset.
I bet they've missed 6 or 7 free throws. Add that to the total, but it's been the defense by the Bulldogs turned into some points.
Coming out of the timeout, East Mills with the ball. Kyler Williams kicks it out. Zach Thornburg, baseline jumper, no good. Elbow jumper, no good. The rebound, we got a whistle on the board, and it's going to be a foul on Grady Jepson or Mason McCready. Was it one of the two? No, that's actually on Kyler Rican. That is his third.
Missed opportunity. Could look like they might have got a stop and a rebound, and another little reload for the Wolverines.
Now the inbound to Kyler Williams, 3 on the way, and that's no good. But another foul called, and that one is on Grady Jepson, and the Riverside fans are absolutely losing it.
It looks like an over the back, but I think it's an undercut. As he boxed him out, he went under.
Yeah. I think Grady Jepson undercut.
So it looks egregious than it is.
It's 4 fouls on Jepson with 3.5 to play. He's got 27 points on the night.
Here we are at the free throw line, though, again, Nick.
Yeah, this has not boded well here for East Mills this season. The first free throw, front end of the 1-and-1 is no good for Braden West. Now here comes Jepson bringing it up the floor with 3.5 to go. Jepson driving on West, puts it up. He's blocked away by West, and they call a charge. They get a charge on Grady Jepson, and that's his 5th.
Wow.
And
it was a lean. I think it was Kyler Williams was leaning back all the way, and I think that's what Coach Nick Kroon's talking about. There wasn't much contact.
Brian, that sequence of plays there in the last 30 seconds, I can see why Riverside fans are upset.
Yeah, this one not them in so much. It's the one right there. That's one either you let it go or you call the defensive foul because the defender was coming down, and Coach Kroon's got to be careful. He's going to be technical.
This is getting a little ugly here. This is getting a little ugly with the crowd and everything, and I kind of sympathize with them. There were some questionable calls there, but we play on. They are still very much in this game. Kyler Williams for 3. That's no good. Rebound to Mason McCready. Wow. Here comes McCready. Jefferson is out of the game. He just committed his 5th foul on the charge. Feed underneath to Garrett Huff is no good. Rebound, though, to Riverside, and then a block by Lane Maston. And a technical foul call. Oh, we got mayhem here in Oakland. As
it looked like there was some contact, and you just knew that Nick Kroon was going to say one too many things, and unfortunately.
What a mess.
Yeah.
So Riverside had 3 shots on that possession. They just kept getting offensive boards, and then finally when East Mills got the rebound, Nick Kroon stepped out and said something to the ref that he did not like.
Well,
and they teed him up in transition, which you don't see very often.
No. And if he hits the shot, Nick, if they make the putbacks, that doesn't happen, does it?
Either way, Mason Krause is at the line shooting 2. He already made his first one. Second free throw on the way is good. And that makes it a 7-point game. And, yeah, that's, that's, Brian, it's tough because it's always the dilemma where do you want to go to bat for your team and show your players that you care about them, or do you want to, not cost them 2 points? It's a tough. It's tough. It's a tough position you're put in as a coach.
It's emotions. You get so wrapped up in the game, and you're fighting, and you know that you just got a call went against you. It's tough.
Here's Zach Thornburg with it, and that's going to be a foul on the floor on Mason McCready.
And as a player right now, you got to show restraint and control, because what you don't want is a player to get a technical, Nick, because then that could impact upcoming games, correct?
You know more about that than I do.
If you get 2 technicals, you're out this game plus the following game.
Interesting. So far, no technicals assessed to any players as Zach Thornburg missed the first free throw.
When intentions get high and the crowd gets excited and a lot of emotions get involved, and you just need cooler heads. And it's just unfortunate that sequence worked out the way it did.
Second free throw on the way for Zach Thornburg. That's off the front end, no good. So he goes 0 for 2 at the line. Riverside still very much in this game, down 7 with 2:40 to go.
Well, the guy at the ball right here is going to have to be the step up right now offensively.
Here's Salias, gets it to McCready, and McCready is fouled on the floor. So the foul called on Zach Thornburg. McCready. And I will say, I hate to be that guy, but the fouls are 10-4. Riverside's committed 10. East Mills committed 5 now. So I can see where the crowd would be a little upset, because it does feel like it has been a little lopsided in the second half.
But it's the last 3 that are probably drawing the most
especially in that sequence there. Yeah, the last 3 fouls that have been called for sure. Here's Garrett Huff with it outside. McCready with it on the left wing. Gets it to Aiden Salias, top of the key, guarded by Thornburg. Salias drives. Salias puts it up off the glass. That's no good. Rebound tipped around, fought for. And they're going to get a jump ball called.
Why not? All that contact, we're going to get a jump ball, right? Again, Salias with a good drive to the basket, and he just couldn't get it to fall, Nick.
Again, Grady Jepson, who had 27 points tonight, is out with 5 fouls. So Riverside's main scoring option is unavailable as we get a foul on that inbound off the ball. It was Kyler Williams who's called for the foul, and that'll be his third, excuse me.
Well, next foul will put the Bulldogs to the line for 1-and-1. Double bonus for the Wolverines, but they have not been.
Inbound, Mason McCready for 3, and he knocks it down. McCready out the inbound on the right corner. Drains the tray, and it's a 4-point game.
Closest it's been in quite a while, since the first quarter, I believe.
Krause bringing it up the floor. Here's Thornburg, 2-minute mark to go in the game. Gets it back to Krause. He's going to be double-teamed. Back to Thornburg, passing back and forth on the perimeter. Now Kyler Williams with it in the corner, and Williams traveled. Kyler Williams traveled, and it's a turnover with 1:51 to go.
Well, and the problems, we talked about the free throws rearing its ugly head, and, if it goes to the line, and I bet, 8 or 10 free throws they left down the court, Nick?
3 bench players on the floor right now for Kevin Schaefer's squad, and Nick Kroon's going to take a timeout for Riverside. 53-49 the score. Riverside has come all the way back in this game, and it's a 4-point lead for East Mills. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
If you're looking for unlimited super-fast internet you can always rely on, look no further than FMTC's fiber internet. With so much relying on your internet these days, you need a connection you can trust. You can work from home, video chat, stream your favorite TV shows, and more without worrying about the stability of your internet. You could have what everyone else wishes they had.
Your connection to the world, FMTC.
Not sure what you want to do with your life? Feel like your job is at a standstill? Get your foot in the door with area manufacturing companies at Iowa Western Community College's SEAM program. Sign up now in the Center of Excellence for Advanced Manufacturing through IWCC. Classes are just 2 early evenings a week with holidays and summers off. Improve your current skills and learn new ones that will give you a new career or even enhance your current one. For more information on SEAM, contact IWCC's Clarinda Center at 712-542-5117.
Minute 45 to go in this game. 53-49 the score. Riverside trails by 4. They've come all the way back. They trailed by as many as 16 in the first half. But they hung around in this game, and they're making a push here at the end. Aiden Salias with it out top for the Bulldogs. Celias guarded by West. Celias drives, right hand, puts it up off the glass, hangs in the air and scores. And it's a 2-point game with 1:30 to go.
Well, he stepped up his game. The senior knows with Grady Jepson on the bench, he's got to go-to guy, and he's delivered, Nick.
Thornburg with it outside. East Mills has been a long time since they've scored a field goal. 1:22 to go. Maston with it over to Williams. Now Williams to Thornburg. Thornburg to Maston, near side corner. Maston gets it to Thornburg on the right wing. He drives, kicks it to Mason Krause. Stop, jump stops, off the glass and in. Mason Krause scores in clutch time. 1:06 to go, back to a 55-51 lead for East Mills.
And he's surprised he was the guy that got the basket when you needed it.
Here's McCready with it on the right wing. McCready to Bell, top of the key. Guarded tightly by Mason Krause. He takes a three. Can't get it to go. Rebound to McCready, though. Offensive board and a foul on the floor called on Zach Thornburg.
Maybe not a real good shot by Bell, but what a great hustle by McCready.
And that will send McCready to the line. It's the 7th foul called on East Mills. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Mason McCready. 55-51 the score. 49 seconds to go. East Mills trying to hang on the road. First shot on the way for McCready, and he makes the front end.
That's the big one because now, nothing else, you're still within a one-possession game.
We get a timeout. Nick Kroon wants to talk it over with his Bulldogs, who trail by 3 here at home to East Mills. 55-52 the score. 49 seconds to go here in this one. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KMA 960 Shenandoah.
Hi, this is Alan at Hawkeye Ford, reminding you that we are your destination for new and used vehicles in Southwest Iowa. We accept many options for trade-in with or without wheels to get your deal done. Hawkeye Ford is also your Southwest Iowa WeatherTech headquarters. So come on down with whatever you need to get done to get into a new vehicle for you and your family.
.49 seconds left to play in this one. East Mills with a 55-52 lead. Riverside with the ball. Brian, what do you think about Mason McCready will have another shot here. What do you think about the 3 starters on the bench for East Mills? What is Kevin Schaefer thinking here? Is it free throw shooting? What is it?
It might be, and it might be just I need the right guys on the floor, maybe a little bit better at moving the ball around and protecting it.
Ball handling potentially either way. Here's Mason McCready with a huge free throw. Second shot of a 1-and-1 is good. Mason McCready goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 2-point game. 55-53 the score.
Might have been anticipating this right here, a little extra extension pressure, so guys that I trust with the ball.
Here's Mason Krause with it, gets it across the timeline, gets it over to Zach Thornburg. Thornburg and Krause playing catch at the moment with 37 seconds to go. Leading by 2. 20 on the shot clock. 13 seconds separate the shot and game clock. East Mills is going to hold this as long as they can. Thornburg almost got himself trapped, gets it over to Krause. Krause drives, splits the defense, and he's fouled on the floor with 22 seconds to go. Mason Krause will head to the line for 2.
That's tough because you almost played that full possession out for the Bulldogs. If you're going to foul, you foul early in the possession because you want as much time on the clock, and now you let one of the premier shooters in Southwest Iowa step the line and add to his total.
Here's Krause. 2 shots at the line. First shot is no good. And so that is going to keep this at a 1-possession game, make or miss here, because it's only a 2-point lead for East Mills.
That means McCready and Solis probably the guys that are going to handle the ball.
55-53 the score, 22 seconds to go. Second free throw up on the way for Mason Krause, and he made it. So it's a 3-point game and a timeout. Kevin Schaefer wants to talk things over with his team.
30.
So a 30-second timeout. We're going to stay here. And, Brian, this has been wild. I mean, East Mills, led by as many as 16 in the first half. They kept kind of leading by 10, leading by 8, leading by 12, and it just kind of went back and forth there.
Free throws. They could have closed this game out. They had opportunities multiple times, Nick, to really keep the lead up, and he missed free throws, and then Jefferson got hot. They picked apart. They had some good drives. McCready, maybe that little technical foul did something to the Bulldogs, Nick, because little energy. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It sure seems that way.
Timeouts are key right now because the Bulldogs only have 1. Got a couple options, Nick. You could try to play, get the best available basket. You don't only have to settle for a 3, do you?
22 seconds to go. 56-53 the score. Riverside with the ball, trailing by 3. They've come all the way back. We'll see if they can complete it. Elias walks up the floor for Riverside. Guarded by West. Gets a screen. Now goes to the right side. Aiden Bell, 3 in the corner. No good. Rebound to Kyler Williams. Williams gets fouled. And that was a early shot there from Aiden Bell, who liked his look in the right side corner, could not hit it. Williams comes away, but with the way this East Mills team shoots free throws, no disrespect to these guys, but the numbers speak for themselves. They shoot 49% from the free throw line, so this game is not over.
Well, and that must have been the play they drew because they went right to Bell in the corner. So you talk about a big free throw. You get one of these two, Nick, for the Wolverines, you do make it a two-possession game.
First free throw on the way for Kyler Williams, and he nailed it. Nothing but net there, and that is a huge shot there from the junior.
Yeah, that might be the biggest one of the night right there because now it is a two-possession game.
Second free throw on the way for Williams, and he nailed both of them. What a clutch trip to the line for Kyler Williams. Here's Aiden Salias with it. Salias pulls up for three from the right wing. That one was blocked by Braden West. Rebound fought for, throws up. Oh, Garrett Huff just banked in a shot from two, but that's not going to be enough. What a wild finish. And the final score, 58-55. East Mills comes out alive. Wow, Brian.
Yeah, that bank shot, and I think it took Coach Nick Kroon off guard because he had one timeout left in the bag, and he could have stopped it and, done something, but time ran out. But a gutsy performance by both squads, and the difference, the two free throws by the junior Kyle Williams that preserved, I think that's the way to say it, preserved the victory.
Preserved the victory, yeah, absolutely. East Mills led by as many as 16 late in the first half. Riverside hung around the entire second half, ended up making a push towards the end, even after Grady Jepson, who scored 27 points tonight. He fouled out with 3 minutes to go. Riverside still hung around, cut it all the way to two, but could never take the lead. And East Mills walks away with a win, bouncing back from the loss last night. 58-55, the final score. Brian, just give me your overall reaction on that game. That was a fun one.
It was a game of runs, and again, Coach Schaefer's one thing they're going to talk about. Guys, if we make our free throws, this game's not in doubt in the last 3 minutes. And, Riverside battled, hats off and kudos to them. And, we saw the star power tonight. Jefferson and Krause battled out, but a couple other guys did a great job tonight. And the good thing is, I guess, this time of year, they're both back in action on Monday. East Mills, West Harrison, like I said, that's Monday in Hastings, and they'll follow that with Tuesday in Griswold. Monday, the Bulldogs will travel to Boyer Valley, and then another tough one at Trainer. So 2 road games, but you like the grit and determination on both these squads, and just a fun night of basketball tonight here in Riverside, Nick.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Grady Jepson had 27 for the Bulldogs. Mason Krause had 26 for the Wolverines. Braden West finished with 16 for the Wolverines. And overall, just a fantastic game here in Oakland. Again, the final score, 58-55. East Mills walks away the winner. They improved to 16-2 on the season. And Riverside falls to 5-12 on the year, but a hard-fought battle from the Bulldogs tonight. Again, the final score, 58-55. East Mills, the winner of both the girls and boys games tonight here in Oakland. Thanks for tuning in here on KMA 960 Shenandoah. Appreciate you listening. Brian, thank you for being here tonight.
Great night of basketball here in late January.
All right, for Brian Bertini, I'm Nick Stavas signing off here on KMA 960 Shenandoah and the KMA Extreme. Thanks again for tuning in.
When buying insurance, finding protection closer to home is always a great choice. Legacy Mutual Insurance in Stanton, a Grinnell Mutual member, is a local company and has served communities in southwest Iowa since 1870. We have independent agents ready to help you with your farm, home, and auto coverage. Go to our website at legacymutualia.com for a complete listing of our agents. For over 150 years, your family's needs and success have been our priority. That's our legacy at Legacy Mutual Insurance.
Thanks for joining us for this sporting event on KMA 960 Shenandoah. It's been sponsored by the KMA Sportscasters Club.
Overcast skies overnight with a chance for snow. Lows around 26. East winds 8 to 15.